Hey all, test, 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 test. Alright, we are live. I have an arena game because I was bored of waiting for the other thing. Um, but so at least a good move, good format here. Unfortunately we're fourth seed once again, because of course, why not? Which, look, it might not matter. It might not matter that we're fourth seed, although I think this Thilgrid player is also the weakest player, so, you know, just not been lucky on seeding order lately. But we've still been getting wins. It's just been tough games. It's not been easy, yeah. We're definitely on the wrong seat. We have two 400 level players here and here. We have a 100 level player here. So you don't like to see that, but all right. Anyhow, Carrot Museum can occasionally do some pretty busted, crazy things, but I doubt that's really the play here. I do see Scholar, Manservant, Freemason. Scholar, Manservant, Freemason is pretty tempting. Passing Clay Supports and Carrot Museum's a little wild, but I'm very tempted to just take the Scholar and then get back Manservant or Freemason here and just do a 3-room Stonehouse type game and hope to win off that. Scholar can be pretty efficient as long as you get decent ox for it. And I mean, will I? I don't know. Milk Jug is a lot of food that helps make small house game plans easier to run because you need less actions to gather the food. Blueprints with Scholar can sometimes be fun. I'm a pretty big fan of Strawberry Patch. Ignoring clay supports so that I can run a small house strat's a little wild. Passing Carrot Museum is also mildly wild because it can do some things, but this very well could be totally wrong, but I'm gonna claim that I'm gonna run this small house thing. With two 400 level players at the table, I mean, again, could be very wrong, but all right. Uh, Game Catcher is a very good Scholar Rock. Game Catcher is a very good Scholar Rock. Game Catcher is also just a very good Ock. The rest of these are pretty bad, unfortunately. What I'm gonna get on the wheel is something like Cattle Buyer, which Cattle Buyer, if it comes off Scholar, at least isn't the worst, but it's pretty underwhelming. I also kind of hate to see Private Forest and Reed Headed Toad here. People love to start player with those in round one, which means especially like a weaker, like Teal's not a high rated player, so I think it's pretty likely I'm going to be going fourth back to back, which I can live with, but it's not ideal. Definitely not ideal. Especially because if I'm running a Scholar game plan, you really kind of just want first growth and a lot of RSFs. That's really the dream, and it's, will I get that? Hard to say. I'm probably taking Hutch here. I like Hutch a decent bit as food. The read cost here could be a little annoying, but it's definitely game catcher. Anyhow, sorry, I was trying to read through some of these forums when I got started here. Papermaker with Scholar could be fun. So that's a lot of food now, though. We're really like we have a ton of food if I do that. Interior decorator is actually not particularly good. Also, I might get the manservant back. Do I really want papermaker here? Is it possible I want seed trader here instead? Do I ever have enough food to make seed trader happen? Um, Gosh, the only way I can make seed trader happen probably is if I have like papermaker to really ratchet up the food. These miners and ox kind of suck. I guess Thresher's okay here too, otherwise. Thresher to get some grain. I don't have a veg source, but I unfortunately am not getting blessed with a plow driver or even a groom. Um, that would be fun, but this is Papermaker, Seed Trader, or Thresher. Also, none of these Ox I want to play early, which also suggests nobody else should really be wanting to play Occupations early. A lot of these cards are not good early. Um, I like basically just want to play Scholar and then play the rest of my hand from there, which is also a little awkward thus far. I mean, maybe something will change, but probably just take Thresher here. Thresher at worst is a couple grand for some food. That's an acceptable trade. Ravenous Hunger could be fun if I get some grain. Although it's hard to play. Clearing Spade might be good too. Yeah, let's claim Clearing Spade might work if I plow early. Which I don't know what I'm plowing yet. I've seen no plow help. The draft's actually kind of weak, which is ultimately better for me, I think, here. If the cards are kind of weak, then it mostly comes down to kind of skill of playing the table. And I have some hope there, but who knows for sure. Again, this is just the wrong turn order, wrong seat position, which could come to bite me, but hey, I found some crops. I found some crops. Uh, Small scale farmer is mildly interested here. Also, because I don't have any card I want to play early, and small scale farmer could get played early. But also, do I even get Ock in round one? I have no idea. If I do get Ock in round one, this hand's actually kind of sad for the record. But I think I take Winter Caretaker. Winter Caretaker is like gives me a grand. It also gives me quite a few veggies. That's stuff I need. It also can be played off Scholar easily. Stone Tongs might be okay here. Pond Hut's really awkward because I don't know how long I'm going to have two Ox on the table for, or even when. Stone Tongs helps get me a little stone, which I need for Scholar. It's also easy to play. The recycled brick's okay too, actually. Recycled brick's not... Although, again, I can't play this till later. Ock requirements are hard with this hand. I'll take cards that don't have Ock requirements, making sure I have stuff to play. Manservant came back. Freemason came back as expected. Gotta just take the Manservant here then and have basically infinite food. Easy Strawberry Patch for points then. I need points in this hand now too. This hand is decent, but it's a little narrow. I have to be able to build a room. I have to be able to like my only I don't want to play Ox early. That's the whole problem with this hand is I don't want to play Ox. So if I get forced onto Ox, which I can be because I'm in fourth seat, and again, I passed cards that people are going to want to start player with in round one with the Private Forest and Reed-Headed Toad, even if they shouldn't be. Like I think it's reasonably likely that Teal is going to re-up start player in round one because of those cards I passed. Weaker players love to play them. And so I think it's very likely I'm going to go fourth in both of the first two rounds, which means I could easily get forced onto playing an occupation. And I don't want to be playing occupations with this hand at the moment, which is where like taking one, if there's a card in the next two packs that's reasonable to play in round one that does something for me, I will highly consider taking it because right now, what do I play? I guess I play Thresher. I could play an early Thresher here maybe instead. I play early Thresher and actually start plowing and possibly just sowing a bunch of grain early and using that for feeding early is maybe the option. Reed-Headed Toad came back. I guess I take Reed-Headed Toad in case I get to start player. Or maybe I just start player Reed-Headed Toad and say, F it, I don't care that I'm getting handed expensive Ock in round one. I first action start player just because I hate my position that much. This might actually be the game that's what happens. I will take Reed-Headed Toad. I don't care for these other cards. It's definitely not Wall Builder. Cattle Whisper, if I get forced to Ock early, is actually mildly funny, but this is probably just take the dumb cattle buyer. It's another card that can be played off Scholar. I really want to avoid playing an occupation early. Really want to avoid playing occupation early. I'm just looking through suggestions for arena. There's like a real thing. I really hate this idea, by the way, that they're suggesting a rating decay for arena. So I'd really love for them not to do this. I really hate this idea, though, so hopefully not. Why do I hate it? It's pretty common in many competitive games. Sure, but do competitive games run on seasons? Like I don't understand. Oh, we do get Seed Trader back too. Seed Trader's okay. Ravenous Hunger's okay here too. Read Roof Renovator. Alright, I'm gonna give myself a second to read through this quick. Anyhow, my argument is whoops, oh god, I just accidentally I accidentally closed the game. I accidentally closed the game, it's fine. It's not a problem. Not a problem with BGA. Alright. Do I actually want Seed Trader here? Maybe I do want Read Roof Renovator. I have cards that give me crops. What am I ever paying for Seed Trader, actually? Do I want Ravenous Hunger is also, like, a question. I guess I want Ravenous Hunger more than I ever want Drinking Trough. What do I need Drinking Trough? I definitely don't. Also, I made it funky by doing this. Okay, anyhow, I would argue we already have a rating decay system. After 3 months, it resets. But I think rating decay makes 0 sense for Arena. Because why are we penalizing the player that plays a bunch in the first month, gets a high rating, and then their rating decays, but the player that plays a bunch in the final month, why should we reward players for playing late in the season versus early in the season? Like what? I don't understand. It makes no sense to me. Like, if we have two identical players that do the exact same thing in arena with against the same opponents, against the same like ratings, the guy that does it later in the season is going to win versus this guy? I don't understand why you would ever design your system that way. I don't ratings decay makes 0 sense the way arena works. If you have a competitive leaderboard that doesn't have seasons and doesn't reset ever, then ratings decay makes sense to me because you don't want somebody to just get a high rating and park forever. But parking forever is not an option in arena because after 3 months it resets and we do a new competition. So 3 months is a plenty long enough time to just let people sit at the top of the leaderboard if they get there. Like, at worst, they're at the top of the leaderboard for 2 months, and then we reset the whole thing. That's kind of the whole point of arena originally. So I completely disagree with the idea of rating decay. I don't think that argument holds any water at all. What? Okay, we do get forced into expensive Ock, by the way. This is the nightmare scenario that I wanted to avoid. This is where fourth seat absolutely sucks. I have no cards that are worth playing early. So we're start player in a Reed Hatted Toad and gonna get an RSF next round at least. But wow, what awfulness. Anyhow, I completely disagree with the idea that you avoid, like, why? What do you mean avoiding strong competition? Arena does not force you ever to matchmake anyhow. And, like, how did you get to the top of the leaderboard with only playing scrubs? Like, that's not how it works either. Like, if you get to the top of the leaderboard, you got to the top of the leaderboard, but we don't need to force you to keep playing. I'm very against the idea. I really hope they don't implement it, but I can't stop them. I would love to get 2 wood here. Please give me 2 wood. Please, 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 please give me 2 wood. Please day labor or plow. Do anything else. Don't force me into awfulness. Don't force me into awfulness. Anyhow, I'm very against rating decay. I will literally not play arena if they implement rating decay. I will never play that mode again. I think it's a really terrible idea. I think putting incentives for players to not. I think trying to get people to not part. Also, the reason that I hate rating decay, by the way, is because turn-based games function entirely differently. Like, oh, good, single read gets taken. That makes my start player a bit worse. Because now there's not multiple good actions. There's no longer that many good actions. But whatever, whatever. We're just gonna take RSF. We're gonna at least get our read stone. But what an awful thing. What an awful start. I have no idea what some of this future read's even gonna do for me, to be honest. But hey, it's there. This read in particular looks like BMW read or resource tiebreak read. But hey, having the option. Anyhow, though, yeah, with the fact that we have a system that also has turn-based games versus live games, implementing ratings decay is going to cause people to manipulate their turn-based games so that they finish so that they don't suffer ratings decay, whereas the real-time players don't have that. So this is another huge reason I'm against a ratings decay system, is because I think it's going to cause people to manipulate their turn-based timers, which is just annoying. Nobody wants that. And I also think it doesn't actually apply to turn-based players fairly compared to the real-time players. So yeah, I mean, to be clear, I don't think ratings decay does anything useful to the leaderboard. Like, again, if somebody plays well enough and they can park at the top of the leaderboard, good for them. Like, they did very well, and anybody could play and surpass them. But if we really want to make arena more competitive, we can implement other things. But there's no reason to force players to play all season. I don't understand. Like, there's, again, if somebody plays 100 games in the first 30 days and is at the top of the leaderboard because they played great, cool. I don't think we need to decay their ratings so that it's easier for somebody else later to surpass them. Oh, we have a childless, which is why we took single read. Okay, that's a legitimate reason. That's a legit reason to do that thing. I'll take 2 more wood. Take 2 more wood. You think splitting up turn-based and real-time is a good idea? I mean, obviously, but they're not going to do that. I've long argued that turn-based and real-time are very separate endeavors, and they have essentially separate player pools, which makes comparing the ratings between the two parties, really dubious. But they've made it pretty clear that they have no interest in splitting the leaderboards. But I completely agree with that. That's a much to me that's a much bigger issue, is the real-time versus turn-based, like comparing each other. And like a while back in Terra Mystica, Sprockets won an arena season by playing only turn-based games, whereas almost all the rest of the leaderboard was like real-time players. So it's weird, right? It's weird to win an arena season against. All right, of course, we have to get started on, because everything has to be miserable this game. Like, my God, why do we have to be fourth seat, and why do we have to have so many games lately where the turn order is just awful for us, just awful. But hey, that's my life at the moment. So that's my life at the moment. Anyhow, yeah, like there's too many arena seasons where people in turn based have like played virtually completely separate player pools. And so how do you fairly know the ratings of this separate player pool compared to the real-time player pool? Like, yes, there's a little crossover, but they basically don't interact. And so like the ratings between the two groups are hard to compare, but at the end of the season we just have a leaderboard and that's what we compare. So all right, Childish Player needs to take 2 wood. I would love to get RSF, but wow, single read got taken again. What a slow, gross start for everybody. Nobody's getting good actions is the only upshot. Nobody's getting great actions. We have late sheep, so these 3 food actions look decent here, actually. I'm very open to taking one of these 3 food actions, because people need food. This guy needs to take wood and build. I would like RSF. If I don't get RSF and I don't get 3 wood, I guess take 4 clay for eventual hearth and then take 3 food. This guy's taking wood and building. If I take 4 clay, this guy builds a fireplace, so I should get 3 food back. This guy takes 2 wood. Yeah, so I'll take 4 clay here. 4 clay for hearth or for reno purposes. I need clay. This is a good action at least. There are these ox, but again, I literally don't care about occupations. And then I should get 3 food back. This should go like 3 food, fireplace, build a room. I mean, I'll stay last. I'll stay last is the, you know, lovely part. But anyhow, yeah, if we really want to make arena competitive, I think there's a hell of a lot more things that need to change. But wow, wooden hut extender. I wish I had good cards. I wish I had good cards. Why why couldn't I have a wooden hut extender? To be fair, I did pass a clay supports also, by the way. There is a clay supports in somebody's hand. Which yeah, that's that's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting, but I also could start player Hutch here. Oh no, that doesn't solve the food. I could start player Hutch into RSF. Yeah, that's awkward though. I'll just take the food. It's fine. I mean, I'm not gonna get Reedstone next round, but honestly, this is a slightly strange game in that nobody's doing day labor cards or other things, so the board is being very gross. Nobody's plowed, nobody's doing day labor stuff, and so it means that we're all contesting these other actions. Nobody really wants to awk, and so it means that yeah, like there's the piles are bad. The awk quality is okay from some, but this is weird. If anybody implements strong all for Agricola turn-based format could become non-existent. Oh, strong AI. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't think that's likely a concern anytime soon, but this guy still hasn't taken food. This guy really needs food. This guy, unfortunately, is going to take my Reedstone, probably. Probably is taking my Reedstone. Uh, which, do I just take 4 food here? Is there any way I can slightly food well, this guy also needs food. Also, he's taking vegetable, which is very scary because I did pass a carrot museum also. This could be carrot museum childless, and I'm just gonna, mega lose. But, you know, if it's carrot museum childless, that guy, had a great position in the draft, and then also, he was third seat, and life worked out for him. Whereas I'm just getting pummeled early in games lately. Okay, the food does get taken. This could be for clay. I mean, I don't really care about the 2 read at the moment, to be honest. Don't really care about the 2 read. I've added read to the game, and I want to take Reedstone. This guy has to day labor, or I think. Oh, pet love. No, he pet loves. Duh, duh, duh. He pet lovers. Pet lover's actually pretty good for him. Okay, so he's gonna pet love. He might build a room then. Hopefully he builds a room. And then, God, please start player. I don't think that's happening. I think this is an awkward position. I'm going to take more clay. I eventually need another clay action for the reno, but not being ready to build rooms. I'm going to stay 4th seat here, I think. Like, it just sucks. Like, Teal's the only one that wanted to start player. I started in round one and stayed start for one round. Like, just awful turn order. The actions I need, I can't get, partly because of the turn order. I could Freeok again. I could happily, I guess I could just Freeok the Scholar, but God, revealing Scholar at this point is pretty dangerous. Just because it incentivizes people to block more. Do I ever build a room out of clay? I build out of clay. You think splitting up turn-based and real-time is a good idea to do? Not to say there's no skill difference between any of them. There's a lot of variance. There's a lot of variance. I mean, I agree. Your first message just appeared. Gotcha. Yeah, that's fine. Anyhow, we pray for somebody to start play or do anything else, but you want to say the leaderboard is only a rough approximation. Yeah, exactly. I agree. I mean, to be fair, Arena's a rough approximation. There's no, just look at last season. Um, yeah, I mean, I mostly agree with that. Yeah, I think last season, there's signs of, yeah, exactly. Like the top players are all pretty close to each other, and then you don't. Arena's weird. Arena's a very weird format because, like, I'm playing an arena game here, and you know, I guess this game hasn't actually been warped by bad play yet, but like we have very different ratings at the table, and like I had the worst. I have the worst draft position, the worst seat position, the worst, starting seat, and like even if I'm the best player, like how much of a penalty is that? Like what's the long term luck and all of that? All right, we do at least build a room. I'm glad to see that because I don't want the build queue to be too messy. I would like the build queue to be open. Whether or not that's actually going to happen, I don't know. I don't know. Do I just build a hearth here, by the way? Does hearth make any sense? Not really. I'd rather just reno to a hearth at this point. Oh, also, I was talking about the clay room. Do I ever build a clay room if reno comes fast? If reno comes fast, I need 4 more clay. 2 for this, 5 for a room, and 4 for a hearth, plus 1 for milk jug. Yeah, I only need 12 clay in order to build in clay. This could be a game where I just try to build a clay room. Also, it makes the clay support's life a lot harder. We have a water worker getting added to the game. That's interesting. There's so much read in this game then. So much read. I really just want reedstone compared to 2 reed, right? I just continue to want reedstone food because I need the stone. Yeah, I really don't need the extra read. I mean, the hutch eventually is fun too, but I guess I could start player hutch now. Start player hutch now in order to make my feeding easier, and then I open RSF. Depending on what flips, I try to take clay or wood and go for this reed will help give me my room reed. Playing the hutch early is a little awkward because it means, well, this is a reno, so then I just need 2 reed, so 2 RSFs, which is enough stone for the reno. Okay, so if we play hutch, we need 2 RSFs. These 2 reed are our reno reed. Okay, actually, yeah. Star player hutch is fine. It doesn't change the growth queue at the moment. Doesn't change the growth queue at the moment. It really doesn't change a hell of a lot, to be honest, but it guarantees me the RSF, and it also makes my feeding easy until I get to the tricky part. I don't have to worry about food during the upcoming stage, which is also a very good position to be in. Like, I don't have to worry about taking food actions, growth flips. That sucks. That sucks. I'm just growing last. I'm just growing last. There's almost no way that I don't grow last now because of what I've done, but I will take RSF and then I'll take wood. Or do I take wood first? Wait a sec. Do I maybe take 4 wood and greed the 4 wood? Who's taking RSF here? Teal is going to build. Purple is going to grow. And red is going to start player. I guess teal doesn't have to build first action, but is teal ever taking RSF on me? The answer should be no. I should be able to take this 4 wood action. I am building in wood now. I have to try to build in wood and get in this growth queue. Have to try to build in wood and get in the growth queue. Is my new opinion. Um, but yeah, early growth is not what I wanted to see. This hand was very much small house. Teal is going to start build. Oh, Teal's going to start build. Yeah, that'll actually work. That will work. Okay, that should work for them. They're eating a raw grain so that they can play Private Forest. They kept Private Forest, so I was right that they wanted to start player on me. Yeah. Eating a grain for Private Forest is a mistake, but whatever. Okay, so we're growing last. We're growing well, maybe not. I mean, it's possible that red lets us jump them. Although this is Carrot Museum, right? This is Carrot Museum, which is so frightening still. So frightening, but we're going last again, by the way, team. We got to be start player for, you know, a brief, flitting, glorious moment again, and then right back where we belong. Right back into last where we belong. Oh, how much do I enjoy the current set of cards? I think the set of cards is pretty fun overall. CD really helped a lot. I mean, I'd like a few more cards. There's still some other stuff. I have played a little over on Play Agricola again lately. And God, there's a lot of really fun cards over there, though. Like, we are living in a slightly sad world, um, but yeah. Okay. Anyhow, team, we're still okay. We're still okay here. It's not great. It's not great, but we take RSF build. We renovate. Well, God, we got to fight for grow in here. That's the tough part. We got to start player, renovate, grow, renovate, or play scholar. In round 9, we get scholar up. Possibly we Ock Manservant at that time too. We get to Reno with a Hearth, hopefully. Hopefully we get to Reno Hearth before somebody else builds a Hearth. Who has clay supports, by the way? I guess purple, maybe? Maybe purple. Teal's gonna grow with, honestly, who the hell knows what. Oh, blueprints, probably, even though their food is bad. Bad, bad, bad. Also, Reno doesn't flip, which is mildly sad. I could start build here. Is there any chance I get... I could try to start build. Is the childless player gonna... Well, the childless player might take read here. Might use their water worker read. The water worker is very baffling to me, but... I probably just have to build. Probably I just build here. Okay, this is looking kind of clay supportsy, which they might want to reno Hearth next round, which is a little unfortunate because I want to renovate Hearth. I would like to reno Hearth next round, although I need to take my Reedstone food action to actually achieve such reno Hearth dreams, and I'd rather just start into grow. Although what am I playing? I guess Stone Togs and Milk Jug. Yeah, I can play Stone Togs and Milk Jug, or Clearing Spade and Stone Togs. Already start player twice in this game. Who am I? What have I done? What have I done? I can probably start build now, actually. I probably can start build into grow. Yeah, I mean, are they going to build stables? I guess to be fair, they didn't start player already, though. Do I let them start player? I'm okay if they start in front of me, I think. They can't play their Carrot Museum yet, which is what they really want to start player with. And with Carrot Museum, they can afford to just not grow. I'm going to not risk this. I'm just going to build. I'm just going to build. I'm not going to try to get fancy about the growth queue. I will start into grow if it's offered on the wheel. Which, I mean, hopefully somebody doesn't start player 4 red. That's the nightmare here, is that somebody start player is 4 red. But I think that's unlikely. I think it's unlikely. Who really knows, though? Who really knows? The answer is nobody knows. Nobody knows. My RSF on the wheel just got taken, though, so that's actually a problem. That's a problem because now that I think about it, I actually needed that RSF pretty badly. Because what's a good action for me now? Like, I actually don't have a good action anymore. Building the Hearth is pretty lame because I already have improvements coming off Renos. So now I really have to hope Start Player comes back. If Start Player doesn't come back, I guess I just Freeock Scholar. I just Freeock Scholar, I guess. I just reveal that I plan to Scholar. Although the problem is that's going to put the Reno pressure into the game. And I could get blocked on the Reno. Come on, Red. You don't need to start player. Don't start player Red. Don't start player Red. Don't do it. Just, you don't need to grow. Start plowing. Plant your veggies. All right. All right, we effed that up. We should have gone for start build. Although, to be fair, if they wanted to grow first, why? I don't understand taking 3 wood instead of start player. I'm actually pretty surprised about that. But it indicates that they might have stable blocked me. So, I guess, yeah, I guess I just reveal Scholar. There's no other good action here. I put myself in this spot. There's no good action, it's my bad, but it's definitely my bad. That was not good. Not good of me. Not good of me. Not good of me to do that. Oh, that was so bad of me. I was supposed to start build, I guess. I guess I could have just taken RSF into build. I also could have just RSF'd into build. I could have gone Reedstone and then built. Although, also, was it that easy to see that Teal was gonna not take food and take RSF there? I mean, I guess Teal wants to fight for another room fast. It's just been another rough game. It's part of why it's another rough game is because it's another freaking game where I'm 4th seat and 1st seat re-up start player a million times and grow flips in 5. When grow flips in 5, you want to be able to build and grow, and when people start player a ton in stage 1, they take all the room parts and they build first. So all the players, after the start, all these players are ready to build because of turn order, and we get early growth. Like, if we got later growth, it was fine. But did we get later growth? No. Wow, they played Charcoal Burner before Furnisher. I think that's quite a mistake, obviously. I would much rather have Furnisher played, but I do expect Purple to renovate this round, unfortunately. I think Purple will renovate. Purple probably is renovated with a clay supports, so I probably have to start player this round, which is also not a thing I want to do. Not a thing I want to do. It's a thing I have to do, though, I think. I'd really love to greed not starting. Is there any way I can greed not starting here? I probably could greed not starting here, right? I mean, Teal has to take wood, build a room, and start player and feed in order to jump me? I mean, they could have a first pick 4-8 they haven't revealed, I guess. Do I gamble on that? I just take Reedstone and try to Reno here. It's very ballsy. It's very ballsy to try to catch up by claiming nobody can build jump. Also, I mean, Purple definitely could take wood and build a room and then start player. But I don't think they want to. I think they have clay supports. I think they want a Reno. I mean, to be fair, if I take RSF, I think they're going to Reno and then I get start player back. I think that's what's. I think I can do that. I mean, could we get screwed? Yeah, this is risky. Starting makes more sense, but let's try. Let's try to greed some shit out. Let's try to greed some stuff out. All right, teal does take the wood, so they can build, but teal cannot jump me. I still expect to get Reno blocked here, though. I think this guy's just gonna Reno. But we'll see. If he doesn't renovate, I might Reno here. I mean, it depends on what action he takes, but like if he takes 4 clay, I think I can get away with renovating. Actually, he also can't jump me easily, right? Reno clay supports, he has to take wood and then build. He needs somebody to start player for him. Now, the scary part here is this blueprints. This blueprint junk room. This guy might start player with a guild, handing growth to purple, if I get frisky about this. It's possible that happens. I don't know if it's likely. Red is taking clay. Red is going to take clay. This has to be, like, this has to be a carrot museum. Which, I'm very glad that they're not playing carrot museum as well as they could be. This water worker's nonsense and plowing. Okay, we do get Reno blocked. I am correct that we get Reno blocked. It is clay supports. So, clay supports made it to them. I don't think I'm getting jumped here. I just don't think I get jumped on growth, though. I think I can greed this out. This guy is nowhere near building a room. This guy can't build a room. This guy can build a room, but then he has to start player 4 and 8 in order to jump me. That's the only way. There's only one way I think he can jump me and still not, take a million beggars. I think he's just going to take a sheep again in Pet Love. I don't think I have to start here. I think I can just take a 3-wood action. I have my double Reno already set up. My double Reno is ready because of this read. I'm going to get Reno at 8 and 9 now is what it looks like. I mean, I also might have to fight for that. This is the problem of playing Scholar early. But this Wood Hut Extender doesn't want to renovate. This guy doesn't have the clay to renovate. This is... Yeah, okay, I should be pretty safe. I'm pretty safe with 3 wood here, I think. I don't think I have to start to grow, which is at least... That is a big catch-up help. Not having to start to grow is a pretty big catch-up help because my miners are pretty bad here. The Milk Jug's fine, but the rest of my miners are pretty bad. Because I already played my good miners, which is why I always say don't start player too much early, because then you then you run into this position. But I think at least I can grow 4th without issue. All right, they are starting. That's scary. That's scary. They are starting with a joinery. They can't build a room then, right? They can't build a room and feed. They can't build a room and feed. So, I mean, it's annoying that they're starting. Very annoying that they're starting, but I can't get jumped. I cannot get jumped, which is fortunate. This is I mean, this was danger level max, but this Wooden Hut Extender is not even, they literally can't build, right? Yeah, they literally can't build a room, so that's fortunate, because I don't want to actually, I don't want to see if they're willing to build a room in order to starve. I am annoyed that the player after me, again, like, all my games lately, I am just at the wrong seating position, though. This guy's in an amazing seat position because we have an absolute start player machine, and they were first seat, and I am just... I need to be prepared to go last forever this game. Like, red has start playered to grow. Purple's never start playered. Purple's never had to start player. Like, purple's in my dream position where you just get to take good actions. You never have to start player. You get first growth. Like, I'm so frustrated at Agricola lately for seeding position. I have just been getting hammered. I mean, I've still been able to win games. I still might be able to win this game for all I know. But God, have I been getting hammered by the seat position. Like, I am put in such hard positions to win rather than just having easy to win games if I was in better seeding order. Um, but whatever, we'll see. But yeah, this is another game where I'm just like, this player started first, and then start player, start player through. I guess that's only three start players through 7 rounds. I started twice, to be fair. Although I'm the guy going last most rounds. I've been fourth constantly because this start player lasted a while. There's only been one other start player action. It was this, and again, it lasted all of 1 round until this player. So I have been fourth 6 of the rounds now is what we're getting to, I believe. 6 rounds, I'm gonna have been fourth. The only times I haven't been fourth is when red start player to grow, and when well, no, 5 times. Sorry, I start player twice. But every time I've start played, it's instantly gone back. But oh well, it's fine. It's fine. My game is still on track well enough. If I'm allowed to grow Reno Hearth and then Reno in round 9, as long as I can Reno in round 9 again, we're pretty on track. My food is mostly clean enough. It's a little tight this stage, because I probably want to play Manservant in round 9 also. But pigs flip. The hearth is going to be a lot of food. Teal's going to force me to grow first action, even though nobody else can build. Why do people do this to me? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, because who's going to Reno block me? Although I could lose the hearth. Red is going to start player Carrot Museum, like, almost certainly. This is start player Carrot Museum from Red. But why do players like, it's very annoying to me that players build rooms even though they know they're not going to get growth. Like, they should take a stronger action so that you don't give it to other players. Like, but whatever. They're hurting our tempo this round. Both of us have worse tempo this round on taking the actions we want because we're forced to do, like, we do other things. But the Carrot Museum is in Red's hands, so that's definitely scary. I'm playing Milk Jug here, is the only card I actually want to play. Yeah. I guess I could always Reno Fireplace, and then I could just Reno Hearth. But I'll just Reno to a Hearth. It's only a 1 clay difference, and I have exactly the clay, and I don't know what the other clay is for. If I have time to grab this stone and Reno to the well next round, that'd be pretty sweet, but I don't expect this stone to stay for too long. I expect next round I'm basically Renoing nada, but we'll see. The wood pressure is tight this game. The wood pressure is pretty tight this game, except for, I mean, this is adding a ton of wood, but nobody has wood for fences. This guy's eating wood and building a ton of rooms. This guy needs a little bit of wood for their rooms. So yeah, the wood pressure is high this game. Wood pressure is high. The stone distraction is gone, so that's good. That's good. I at least think I get to pull off Reno. So I at least have Scholar up roughly when I wanted it. The weakest player at the table is the one that's going to be growing the fastest, but their food is kind of bad. Oh, this player is still going to sow on time, aren't they? Oh, yeah. Well, kind of on time. Sowing before stage 2 is the best, but they are going to sow. So the game's actually going to become very stone rich. So Stone Tongs looks really bad. But I really don't. I'm not going to be building majors, really, which is awkward. Not building majors is a little awkward for point ceiling purposes. In an early growth game, my point ceiling looks pretty dubious here. Also, there is a slight issue that this player probably grows to 5 regularly, and this player also probably builds and grows to 5 regularly. But this player probably doesn't build to 5. Well, the Water Worker Childless, maybe they are going to build a ton of rooms. Anyhow, it's hard to know. I would love to just get growth without easily in the end game, but it's also not clear that's going to happen. But that would be a dream. Okay, what is my round? I need a little food in order to really run what I want, because Yeah, I need a lot of food actually. I need to start playing a lot of these ox right after this. I think I'm just opening the pigs next round. I think I'm just opening the well, I guess opening the sheep is smarter. Opening the sheep is smarter because this guy would rather have the sheep, and to me they're the same food. And I might actually get like 3 pigs if I let them pile. Passing on 4 wood is going to be really sad, but I think it's better to take sheep, Reno, and play manservant next round. I think it's probably better to just do that, as unfortunate as it is, and it is pretty unfortunate. But once I finish that, I am really just taking wood and plowing, trying to fence and take animals. Like, at least that part's good. Next stock winter caretaker. I actually think it's Thresher. I think I play Thresher at the start of round 10 so that when I plow, I can get extra grain. And then round 11, I play winter caretaker. Red just took 4 food, or purple took 4 food. Red's food is awful. Wow, Red's food is awful. Actually, I mean they can eat veggies, but eating veggies is kind of unfortunate for them. So that's actually great news too. Red's food being bad is excellent. Teal's food is still pretty bad too. Like eating off a joinery is not what I would call the dream. My food is about to be great, so that's one other advantage at least. I mean, Purple's game is still very scary. Furniture and this stuff is scary. Wow, Red's not sowing. Red is going to go for build. I think Red's opening build here. I think Red's going to build a room because Purple can build. So if all these people kill themselves on growth, I still have a chance here at least. Okay, it's not build though. Probably because they need a hearth. They probably need a hearth. uh, Again, ignoring 4 wood sucks. Ignoring 4 wood sucks, but what sucks even worse is not just solving my food forever. I need a food for the Scholar Ock at the very worst. I think I just want to Ock Manservant this round and speed up the rest of these cards. Teal is going to grow first action for no reason. Why would you grow first action? I don't know. But you know, they did. They did. Why why not keep handing value down the table? This guy should double build and then build the well and build an improvement. I mean, this I assume this is double build, furnish the well, furnish who knows what. I don't know what, but I would be building here. Teal can build a room. Actually, why did Teal not build another room there? Teal building another room. Well, because they don't have the food for it. Who am I kidding? They don't have the food. Hello, Holy No More. Or Holly No More. Holy Gnome. Whatever. Hello. All right, all right. Do I ever get 6 wood next round? That would be really amazing, but I think it's unlikely. I really have to just start taking 3 wood actions after this. God, do I take 4 wood here and just Reno? Do I skip Manservant actually? Do we slow Manservant by a round? Maybe I Manservant at the start of round 10, and I Winter Caretake at the start of round 11, and I just play Thresher at like round 12. Wait a sec, that might be a lot better. If it comes with 4 wood, fencing and holding animals early has to be really great here, and I might just get 3 pigs next round. I don't really need the manservant food that fast. Okay, well the 4 wood goes. All right, well now I'm punished. I probably should have opened 4 wood. Oh, undoes though. I mean he should build. Yeah, okay. He should build because the build queue is really bad. The build queue is bad, and this guarantees growth, right? Yeah, building when you guarantee growth next round is also very good. Like nobody's fighting for the growth now next round. Okay, I probably do take 4 wood now that I've talked myself through it. Well, except this guy could Reno. He gets a hearth. That makes enough sense. But he should take the well, right? He's going to take the well. He doesn't want a Reno. I assume. I assume he doesn't want to contest Reno. Yeah, he builds the well. Correct. All right. This is still a very good position. Also, the pigs are going to get taken probably now because now he does have a hearth, which is fair. But I don't really need the pigs. Yeah, I'm gonna take the 4 wood here if it's offered to me. I mean, the hearth just got taken from red. Red's food is really bad now that the hearth disappeared. The hearth disappearing is a huge slam to red. So the I was scared of Childless Carrot Museum, but they've played it. I think they've really played it wrong. Which is very good news for me. I think they've really messed up the Childless Carrot Museum here because yeah, they're just like starving. I mean, they're gonna have to eat all their veggies. Well, they should build a fireplace and sow 3 veggies. Maybe even bake this grain. I mean, that's how they have to get through this, but that's not what you want to be doing. It's not what you want to be doing. Leave me a fireplace. Wow. I want to eat too. You see, my furniture is used. Furniture was useless. Then I'll stop you. Will you go to change the fireplace? He can't. He committed his move. What are you guys are colluding openly? Like, what are you doing? I don't know. I'm sure there's some joking happening here or something, but like, what? Oh, I don't know what's happening there, but um, is Red gonna rage quit over not getting a hearth because they played poorly? Like, I guess it's conceivable. It looks like. How do you get? Why are there so many people that have leave penalties in Agricola? Everybody, like, how do you do this? It's so easy to literally not have leave penalties on your profile. It's the easiest thing in the world to not have leave penalties. Yeah, it does look like he's rage quit before. I mean, it could be disconnect. It's hard to know if it's rage quit or disconnect. Okay, he did take an action and he settled for the fireplace. All right. I think I'm gonna take 4 wood and then renovate. Nobody can reno, right? Oh wait, no, red can reno. Red could renovate, although they just passed on renovating. They just passed on renovating. I'm going to take this wood. I'm going to claim fence tempo matters a lot here. Fence tempo looks like it matters a lot. There's a pet lover adding animals. The animals are, well, I'm not sure how long the animals will keep piling up, but I'm going to claim this and then Reno. You completely agree. Agricola's kind of an awful game to be stuck in if you know you're going to lose. I mean, okay, so I broadly agree with that. I do understand that. I do understand that okay, the hedge keeper is a little bit gross to see. The hedge keeper is a little gross to see. It adds more wood to the game, which makes the joinery a bit better. It also makes the fence, like teal actually can fence faster now. Although, how is teal feeding? How is teal feeding? What am I missing, everybody? How is teal feeding here? Teal's taking beggars? Like, I don't, this game is baffling. I'm stuck too much. I mean, red is pretty stuck. These players are arguing, but red's position is pretty bad. Red really messed up their position. I mean, they do have Childless Carrot Museum, but gosh, they misplayed it. Definitely misplayed this. Red's definitely misplayed this. Red should raw eat this grain, I think, or not raw eat. I think they should bake this grain. Yeah, they do. That is, I think that is the right move. I think baking the grain's correct. You want to save veggies, but don't put yourself in that position. Don't put yourself in that position. Okay. Do we even build it? Oh, they were waiting. Oh my God, they're waiting for my renovate. They're going to start player pottery in order to feed. I'm gonna be last again because the blueprints player has to start here. This is gonna be start player pottery now that I handed it to them. Gosh, that sucks. Is this ever a clearing spade game or is this all wastes of wood? I think these are wastes of wood. I think I'm just Reno Nada here. I think I just Reno Nada. I think it's a waste of wood to build either of these improvements. I'm gonna have more crops than fields, so clearing spade is useless. Like I'm not gonna have more fields than crops. And I'm not ever taking stone this game. Oh, or am I taking stone this game for a stone room? Is there ever a future where I build a stone room because I have Reed and Reed coming in anyhow? Gosh. You know what? Even if I build a stone room, I can just take the stone probably. I'm probably not getting 4 stone plus a stone. I mean, that's the only way that I want to play that card. I probably have to take like 3 stone, 2 stone anyhow. Here comes the start player pottery. Gotta be last again, team. Gotta be last again. Why would I not be last again? Teal's food still sucks for the record, but at least they're feeding. But yikes, is that feeding rough? I missed purple built a stable. That stable looks a little gross. Purple could open next round 3 pigs. It's pretty good. Opening 3 pigs next round's pretty good. It is time to start plowing and fencing. Plowing and fencing is what I want to do, but start player, indeed. It's been a run lately, guys. It's been a run. I can't wait for an Agricola game where things are just easy. Can't wait for an Agricola game where they're just easy, where people just, where the turn order doesn't just screw me constantly. Wow, they have a Plowmaker. What I wouldn't give for a Plowmaker. That's a great card. Yeah, they have good cards. I mean, I have some good cards too, but yikes. Yikes. I mean, I'm probably losing this game to purple. Purple's just been in the best seat. Purple has, I mean, I also probably should have drafted the clay supports, but this scholar thing is pretty good for me. But there's so many ways this game goes better for me. I got early growth again in a game. Like anytime you pass clay supports and it's early growth, like you're gonna be sad. But like, I don't freaking know what it's gonna be. If it was late growth, then the clay supports could have been a lot worse, and the scholar game plan's better. Like whatever. Oh, whatever. Cow does flip. Cow flipping is. I think it's very likely that Teal takes a cow this round with Pet Lover, and that triggers Milk Jug, and then there's going to be 2 cows next round. So if there's any way I could fence this round, I don't understand how, but sure would be nice to have breeding cows hanging around. But yeah, I have infinite food now. I have infinite food. This manservant Milk Jug is totally going to feed me the rest of the way. So I do not actually need to worry about food, really. I do need to plow and take wood. I gotta plow and take wood and fence. Like, that's the only things that matter. It's the only things that matter to me. Only things that matter to me. Is this guy stuck in the house again? This guy's... I don't understand. Alright. Alright, team. What are we doing? Wow, there's still 3 pigs, though. God, those 3 pigs are kind of tempted, but they're not really that important to me. Purple probably opens 3 pigs here. Yep, we open wood. The wood pressure this game is horrible from here on out. The wood pressure is absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. This hedge keeper is actually going to be annoyingly good. This hedge keeper is going to be annoyingly good. There's so many actions. People are going to take 2 wood actions this game for sure. I'm plowing here. My round is plow and 2 wood. My round might be plow, 2 wood, fence 11. I might just settle for fence 11 just because fence tempo looks really good if these animals pile up. Not that I even get the 2 cows next round. That assumes somebody start players for me. And who's gonna freaking start player for me? Red is gonna get in the build rooms queue, which is baffling that they didn't build sooner then, because purple's gonna grow. Is red gonna start to grow? Is red gonna start player to grow? Red might start to grow, which would be pretty convenient for me at least. That would be a kindness. That would be a kindness that somebody will start player again, because purple grows and has an open room. Also, it is good news that everybody's building a million rooms, because it does mean that I get family growth without late easily, and I absolutely need that for my point ceiling. Remember how I dreamt of fencing this round, though, and getting the cows at the start of next round? That's not happening. Teal is correctly actually fencing with Hedgekeeper, and then gonna take a cow. So that's a bummer. But, I mean, I guess I would rather take more wood and fence fully anyhow, but what a rough one. What a rough game. Oh well. After I take 2 wood here, what do I even do, by the way? What do I even do after taking 2 wood? I like, don't need these actions. I guess I take the cow if Teal doesn't? Just because I want to trigger Milk Jug? I don't even know. I don't even know, team. What a rough game overall. What a rough game. Wow, he has a loom too. He has a loom also. This is just rubbing it in my face. Just rubbing it in my face. Taking RSF with Water Worker is sad. Taking RSF with Water Worker is sad. That's my opinion. I want 2 wood back. I just want 2 wood back. I don't feel good about wanting 2 wood back, but that's all I actually want. Alright, there are a pair of cows next round. Oh, Red didn't start player. Sad days. Sad days. Red. Red buddy. Help me out. Start player. Start. Start for me. Alright, we Aqu Winter Caretaker next round. At least that helps gather our veggies. Our Scholar is doing work. Our family members are not doing as much work because there's not anything to do. I guess I could just take 2 stone, and then this reed eventually gets me the BMW, although thinking Teal isn't going to blueprints the BMW before me is also very dubious. But I am going to kind of run out of things to do, because, like, once everybody else is fighting for plows, what can I do? Like, if I can't plow and I can't take wood and I can't fence, like, this is part of why I really need to fence soon, is because I need to be able to take animal pairs justifiably, but I can't totally do that yet. I guess cattle buyer is going to be decent. Cattle buyer might actually turn out decent because of the hedgekeeper and stuff. Wow, purple is going to start player to grow. I think purple's starting to grow. Oh, how I wish I could fence here and take these. How I wish I could fence here and take this. Wow, hunted trophy. That's, yeah. Purple's game is very good. I think purple's fairly clearly in the lead here. I think purple's fairly clearly in the lead. Has a big house, has a well, has a loom. It's early growth. That, you know, they figured out some point ceiling. This plowmaker is excellent. This, I don't agree with the stable location, but outside of that, I will take another 2 wood action. I'm not above another 2 wood action. I mean, the only thing is, yeah, like, at least purple can't fence easily, but there's a lot of wood left in the game for purple to gather and fence with. Although I guess that means their animals are going to be a bit bad. It's going to be hard for them to plow. If I'm them, I don't know if I grow first action. Like, plowing first action almost might be better. I will plow first action next round. I will plow and then fence is what I assume I'm going to get. Fencing 13 is a little underwhelming, mostly because it means that I can't breed as many animal types as I wanted, but I don't really think it makes a ton. Well, gosh, a 3 wood action is great, though. I also really do want, whoops, I really do want, what did I do? Stop it. Stop it. Go away. Taking a 3 wood action at the start of next round might be better, because I actually do really want this strawberry patch wood also. This is important to my point ceiling. I have to make a very pretty farm, though. Like, I also need lots of plows. I mean, ultimately, it's just tough. I need a lot. Like, just like everybody, I need a lot here. Just like everybody, I need a lot here. Teal's game is unfortunately turning out decent despite them playing cards I don't agree with. It's just because early growth is so good for Pet Lover, Hedge Keeper, Geot. Like, all of these cards are, let's have early growth. Everything about their hand is like early growth. I just kind of lost this game due to the growth flip. If it was later growth, my position's so much better in late growth. My position's so much better late growth. Again, seeding order though too. Like again, and you can't win them all. I can accept that I can lose some games, but it's just very frustrating losing games when like I. It's tough when when I feel like if I was in other seeding positions, I would be winning, right? If I was in other seats, other draft spots, just the way the game like breaks. But I have a seat that I think almost all these players would be losing from, but if not lots of plows, at least one more. I mean, I need one more plow, definitely. Wow, red takes the cows because they're hungry. That's fun. Okay. Well, that's fine. Uh, I guess I just plow here, right? I just plow. I should just keep plowing. Plowing is going to be contested. I mean, 3 wood is also contested, though. 3 wood into fence. What's better? 3 wood into fence or plow? There's no time for plows this game. I probably should fence big, actually, right? I should be aiming for fence 15 big, though, which means I do need more wood before fencing. In which case, 3 wood is the right number here. What else am I doing this round? I'm not starting, right? I have nothing to start with, which is also a slight problem. I guess I could start Ravenous Hunger. Am I ever starting Ravenous Hunger, though? That seems awful. What's more important, plow or wood? They're both pretty important. The wood does let me fence bigger. I guess there's a scenario. There might be a chance I get wood, fence, and the sheep. Do I ever get the sheep this round? Who's taking the 2 sheep, actually? Alright, it's not clear anybody's taking the 2 sheep. Let's go for 3 wood, and then fence. And then... I mean, well, or if plow comes back, I plow. If plow comes back, I plow. But purple should plow. I'd be very shocked if, like, purple doesn't plow, teal doesn't plow. Like, somebody's plowing. Somebody's plowing. I don't know who, but somebody. But fence 15 and possibly get the sheep is at least something. It's at least something. Plow does get taken. So yeah, the plow pressure is high this game. Plow pressure is high. People are going to be first actioning plows. So I definitely fence big. Definitely fence big, which still doesn't leave a ton of breeding pairs room, but how many breeding pairs am I getting this game? Well, actually with cattle buyer, I still might get some breeding pairs, but I guess maybe I take enough wood for stables, although yeah, 2 wood is an action. 2 wood's a premier action this game now, like the wood is tight. I mean, this guy sells a carrot museum, I guess, that's gonna generate a bunch of wood. This guy also is gonna reno BMW. Definitely this is reno BMW, so my BMW dreams are gone, but those were silly dreams. Those were silly dreams. Alright, we at least get our fencing down and probably get to breed sheep. But what an ugly game for me here overall still. Like, what a tough one. What a tough one. Oh well. They can't all be winners, but I was having some fun with Agricola, and then this weekend of Agricola has been it's still been some fun, but gosh, I've had tough positions. I have had very tough positions. Very tough positions in Agricola this week of just fourth seed and just being started on a ton and just not been easy. It's been easy. It looks like Teal intends to take a pig this round. Probably is going to pet love a pig. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Purple does want 2 sheep. Well, that sucks. That sucks. Do I SP Nada here? This might be a time to SP Nada. Like, what else am I doing here? I guess I could take the 3 stone and then 2 stone and build a room. Is this ever 3 stone and then 2 stone and build a room? 3 stone, 2 stone, build room, grow? 3 stone, then 2 stone, then build room, then grow. That's a lot of actions for not a hell of a lot. It might be worthwhile, but is it worthwhile compared to SP Nada? Plow, sow, or grow is great here. Plow, sow, or grow is great. Yeah, I don't think 3 stone does enough for me. I just don't think building a room is particularly great. Having to take 1, 2, 3 actions for 3 points doesn't sound very good. Doesn't sound that good. Gosh, that wanting to take 2 sheep sucks, but there really is nothing on this board. There's just too many actions and nobody. Well, although, yeah, why did purple not want 3 stone? Purple taking 2 sheep over 3 stone is really just a slap to me. Well, they have a loom. I guess they do want the sheep pair eventually, but they can't even breed it. They can't even breed it. And now they're going to make me fight for sheep. I guess I can cattle buy a sheep maybe. Yeah, I'm just going to SP nothing. SP nothing, like a freaking champ. But hidden grow would be great. Hidden plow sow is fine. Like, how's the game going? It's not going great. I was 4th seat. It was early growth when I had a hand that was kind of more. I didn't want early growth. Teal has start playered a lot, including blueprints and some guilds. I was 4th a lot early. I grew last because of all that. The board has been super dry. I can barely achieve what I want. I mean, to be fair, everybody's a little bit not achieving what they want, but I think I'm in a lot of trouble still here. I'm in a lot of trouble. All these players are better positioned for early growth and higher ceiling. I'm at only 15 at the moment, and like I can earn points, but it's a little limited. I think purple's just gonna fairly clearly win the game. I mean, we'll see how much wood they can gather and when they can fence, I guess. But purple's position is pretty good here with clay supports and 5 actions and plowmaker to help catch up on plows. Um, so it's been okay, but it's just been a frustrating Agricola life lately, where the seeding order has just been a bit brutal, and then this is another game where I'm not really getting to pull off my game plan quite right. I'm not getting to pull off my game plan here, but I'm not getting. Basically, I'm getting the bare bones level of my game. Like I could have been significantly better off. Also, if it was late growth, I'm just way better off if in a late growth game here. If all these players had to actually start player to build and grow, and they couldn't grow so fast, and we were all, scrambling for, growth, my scholar manservant is just so efficient in that scenario that I just win the game. But instead, my scholar manservant is barely enough to help keep progress with the people that can build and grow fast. And so, that's just a bad break, but it happens. But like growth flips matter a lot, and getting a bit punished here. Also, I would love red to actually start player for me here in the late game so I can plow. I mean, red should have miners left. Everybody else has played, like, these players have played more cards, so red hopefully has stuff left that they want to start player with. But will they? Do they? I don't know. But I'd love to get handed, premier actions, because that's all I really need at the moment. I need premier actions. But if plow sow flips, I play thresher. If family growth flips, I think I play cattle buyer though, right? Because I'm not gonna get a plow action this round. There's just no way I get a plow action this round if family growth flips. There's no way plow wheels. Um, and I'm gonna play these 2 cards, and then this card comes at the start of round 14. I never play Reed Roof Renovator. Um, I eventually do want to get 2 veggies sown pretty badly for this. And then, gosh, I probably do have to think about a BMW. No, the BMW's gone. I have some point ceiling. I have some huge point ceiling issues. Having no points on cards is a huge issue. I have no offboard really, and I can't really generate an offboard, which is part of my problem here. So I need to like make a super pretty farm, but I can't really stables. I haven't really got animal pairs in my fences here. We hit plow sow rather than growth, which I mean happens, but boo. Boo, that was not the plan, but growth was significantly better there for me. Growth was significantly better, but we don't get that. We don't get that. Not to be, not to be today. All right, I will take the pigs on the wheel. I will take 2 pigs. I will plow. I mean, to be clear, if plow comes back, I plow. But purple passing on plow here would be gross negligence. Yeah. So I take the 2 pigs, and then I SP Nada again if it comes back. Like, I take 2 pigs and then I SP Nada. Do I feel good about having SP Nada? No. I don't want to. But there's literally nothing on this board for me. There is nothing worthwhile compared to SP Nada. If it comes to that. So take the 2 pigs first. Hope red starts for me. I mean, that's still the real dream. Red, have some good miners left. Have some good miners left, buddy. Start player for me. Got all these resources. You want to grow. You want to plow sow. Start. I don't know if they actually do. I don't know if they actually do. I just could use the help. I could use the help. I'm at 22 points. Purple's at 21 points, but has a Reno lined up. Eventually is fencing and has a million more actions than me. So yeah, I mean I'm clearly losing to purple. The real question is if I could even beat anybody here. Like I might be taking 4th, which is going to be extremely frustrating, to be honest. Like. But there was probably some things I could have played differently. I certainly could have drafted differently. I could have drafted the clay supports, but I don't know if I can win with clay supports because then I really don't know what ox I'm playing. I have being 4th seat this game was just awful because I had no early game ox, but I also couldn't draft any early game ox. Like what cards in anybody's hand besides like furniture are is actually and childless obviously, but like what's worth playing early? Nobody had early game ox, and so being in 4th seat was extra punitive because of that draft. Like, it's extra punitive when. What did I take over clay supports? I took a milk jug like a chimp. Like a champ, I took a milk jug. Yeah, it was questionable. I know it's questionable, but I did it. Did it anyhow. To be fair, that's where like that's definitely one spot we can argue. I'm supposed to just take the stronger card, but oh well. Oh well. I didn't. I did not take the stronger card. Do I take a single sheep here? Do I take a single sheep instead of start player? No, a single sheep sucks actually, right? Single cow is better. And even then, single cow is not that good. The fact that I'm getting I'm partly getting animals off of my ox is just like, it's so reduced. Well, actually, wait a sec. Do I play game catcher next round? Wait a second. I could take single cow here. I could take single cow right now and then play game catcher. That's probably better, right? It's probably better to take single cow right now and then play game catcher at the start of round 13 and then have breeding pigs and breeding cows and just end this game with single sheep. Aim for 4 cows in these spots, aim for 5 pigs here, and just have a single sheep. That's gotta be better than SP Nada. I gotta just hope. I gotta hope that Teal's out of starts or something, or that I just stay start. I gotta hope for some luck if I'm gonna have any chance of not taking 4th. I think SP Nada is basically accepting that I'm just gonna like lose, which I might be losing. If Teal starts, I'm in real bad position, but I kind of hope that somebody else wants to start. I would love to get another veg field eventually, yes, but how am I going to get to plow? How am I going to get to do anything? I'm not going to get to do anything. Like this game just I'm not again, I'm just in a terrible seat position. Purple's in such a good seat position with teal started all the time and purple just getting to grow first and purple's in the better draft seat also. Like look at purple's hand. It's like Purple's hand is just much better for this situation than my hand. But again, if it was late growth, I'd be looking great in late growth. But I can conceivably get plow blocked and grow blocked next round, right? It conceivably can go plow sow, plow grow, and I'm left staring at an absolutely awful board for me. But I can't do anything about it. I can't do anything about it. There's like it's just been a bad game, bad breaks. Maybe a little bad play again, like I say, but given the hand I drafted, and then the seat position I'm in, and the way the game's broke, I don't know if there's anything I could have actually done this game to change my fate, though. I just don't know if there's anything. Red doesn't want a start player in the late game here, even though it'd be great for him and me. Instead, Teal wants to play feed fences because I don't know. Purple's apparently going to go for muckrake no fencing strats. I don't know. I guess they are actually. They're going to go no fence strat, or they're still going to take wooden fence late. I guess purple has this annoying house redevelopment for red fence actually. That's pretty good. Yeah, purple's red fence is actually pretty good. But teal's a player that start players too much. Like I don't think teal needed to start there, but I guess teal didn't need to not start player there though. There's a lot of actions. What else is teal doing? Teal doesn't have a lot of stuff to do either. I mean, one could argue take wood and build a room. I guess one could also argue about renovating. Wait a sec. Teal has a lot to do. Who am I kidding? Who am I kidding myself? Teal has a lot, but Teal has a lot they still need to do. Teal has a lot they still need to do, but they also do need a plow. Like Teal getting a plow so looks good. Like whatever. It's not that crazy for Teal to start player. It's just unfortunate for me. It also wasn't crazy for Red to start player, assuming they had any miners left, but it would seem Red does not have any miners left. So instead, Red sowed some more crops. Gonna get a bunch of stone, a little bit of wood. We'll see. What a tough game. What a tough game. I mean, with any luck, Red is gonna take wood at the start of next round or try to fence. Like, at least let me grow. The player with all the actions is purple. Correct. Purple can do whatever. Purple's won this game. I mean, purple's won this game. Correct. I mean, purple has this game won. They barely had to start player this game. They've gotten everything they wanted. Oh wow, we teal quit the game. Teal quit the game. Well, my elo is saved, but what? What? Like you just quit games that you're not doing well in? You just quit? I mean, you do. That's what you're doing. You just quit. But that's insane. Like people that do this should have to take horrible penalties. Like it's so frustrating that we claim they still have a good enough reputation for arena. Like but hey, we don't have to play that game out at least. We don't have to play that nightmare out. But like did Teal rage quit because they got stable blocked? Like I don't I don't know what happened there. We're 89 minutes into a game and another game that doesn't finish because of a quitter. Like just how am I in so many games with How am I in games with quitters? Also, it's very annoying. Like, I'm the highest rated player and I get nothing. How is this guy 1640 and he's still getting 3 and I get nothing? I mean, to be fair, I deserve nothing for that game. I was definitely gonna lose. I was definitely losing that game, but everybody should avoid this person. This player, like, I feel like there needs to be mega red thumbs. Like, I understand occasional disconnects and stuff, but purposely abandoning the game, like just quitting, especially when we're so close to finishing. We're in round 12. Like, you wasted three. You wasted 4.5 hours of BGA members' time. Like, BGA needs to be way stricter with their penalties. I mean, I guess it then just encourages people to make alt accounts, but like, what terrible luck this weekend in just every which way, every imaginable way. Every way, bad luck this weekend. Just everything. I was about to say I could join this table, but this table is keep 7 out of 10, so it's not even a draft. And then this table also, like, we have no ban list. Yeah, no ban lists, no CD cards. I mean, no thanks. Pretty shitty. Yeah, it's definitely shitty. Thinking about cases, it's awkward to make it worse to quit outright than for people who disconnect. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you can't really know if people are disconnecting or whatever. So to be fair, like, it doesn't actually work. You can't enforce. It is hard to enforce better behavior in many ways. You would say that's good luck for me. Oh, I mean, to be fair, again, my elo is ultimately saved, but I don't really care about my elo. I don't really care about my arena stand-in. Um, I care about playing Agricola games and playing them to completion. I care about a site and a community that fosters fair play, that fosters, like, I should be able to log into BGA, open a game, and assume it's going to play to completion. Obviously, occasionally things will happen, but BGA has a perfectly good reputation system that just doesn't punish players hard enough. It's that simple. When you leave Agricola games that late in, you should get punished hard. Really hard. There should be more penalties. Um, like, it's just that simple. Pro Hell, this is tough, right? Okay? Like, I don't know what's happened with you, man, but you you had a Mackie Worm account that you said was going to be your only account, that you had no others. And then you did the same cycle that you've done in the past, where you joined a lot of games, you quit a lot of games, you got 0% reputation, and then you have another account again. So, like, private message me what's up. But it's hard for me to feel good about playing with somebody that keeps going through a cycle of quitting tons of games. I mean, that's exactly what I'm complaining about right now, right? Like, players that quit games ruin the site for everybody. And then people don't want to play here, and the community's not very great. And, like, I get real stuff happens, but it's the same cycle, buddy. So, like, it's hard. Anyhow, I'm gonna wait a minute or two, see if we actually get a table. I'm not sure I want to play and stream another at the moment, to be honest. But if I get a game fast, I'll play. But I don't really even know if I for sure do want to play a game at the moment. I kind of do. Again, I want to play an Agricola game where a bunch of people are having fun and everybody's gonna play the game to completion, and where everybody kind of gets to do fun things. But my experience in Agricola lately is instead I wind up in games where, like, it's just very. I mean, to be fair, ultimately, again, I'm talking as if, like, my Agricola life's been terrible, but I did win both of my games yesterday, even though I thought things were in a really bad spot. Like, oh hey, we already did get a game though. Ooh, Sivers in. All right, we have all pretty strong players. You're scared of losing your arena rating. I mean, that's fair. We're not playing arena. This is just regular. Although you're up there now. I did not realize that. Congrats. That's awesome. Anyhow, we'll see you later. I'll hide the draft here for a sec. Whoops, this is the other game. This is this game, but it's had another tab open apparently. That's what happened earlier. I created an extra tab. Oh, except Naki's not joining this game. Please hit the yes button. Please don't have disappeared. The upshot is this table is perfect reputation. Perfect reputation table. So that's a high indication we'll actually finish the game. But apparently I have to be increasingly dubious of even 80% reputation because BJ is just not harsh enough with their penalties. Like, if you've quit a couple Agricola games in the past 60 days, like, you just shouldn't be allowed to play. You just shouldn't be allowed to play Agricola. Especially not in arena. That's how I feel, but I guess I don't know. Like, look, I obviously live in a slightly great world where I don't really have disconnect issues. It's just not a problem, and then it's just not a problem to play a game to completion. Even if you're frustrated, like, you just respect the other players. You can't leave the game. It's just not hard. It's just not hard to maintain a high reputation. It just shouldn't be, but apparently I guess it actually is. But this is why I should try to just organize more games with people that I know and trust, but that's obviously, it's just obviously a slightly extra step. Like, you'd prefer to just be able to log in and play. Also, where are you? Where are you, buddy? This player, I'm assuming it's just like they went to the bathroom, although they're on mobile, it says. So, like, we're just not paying attention to the fact that the game started. Or did the game start and I'm low? No, you came back. I assume we're all waiting for this. Yeah, we're all waiting for this. I mean, I'll kick them in another set. I'm giving them a little bit of time because I understand some players go to the bathroom and stuff. But yeah, this is weird. This is a weird start, right? Like, what is this? Like, I was excited too because we had all 100% reputation. So, like, the reps are perfect. The strength is at least enough to make me feel like we're not going to get that. Weren't they last to join the game? You were last to join the game. They were the first to join the game, right? They joined the game first, I think. I'm not sure, but all right. I assume they timed out. Oh, or nope, we're going. We're live. Never mind. They joined. It's been a while. Has the Agricola BJ community been going downhill in terms of people quitting? I don't know if that's for sure what's happening, right? It's tough, right? I am but a small insight into what's happening. I've had bad luck lately. Is it bad luck or is it a broader issue? Hard to say. Hard to say, right? Like, all right. Anyhow, we have a game. I was waiting a sec just to make sure Sivir was gone. I assume they are. So we have a game. We're first seat. We're first seat. We don't. It's still the wrong seating order. It's the wrong seating order because the slightly weaker players are right after me, and so Sivir, so that part's that. Also, what a pack! I mean, we're playing draft 10 Ox then Miners, but what a pack! The good news is I get 2 Premier Ox. It's good that there's 5 very good cards. It's much better that there's 5 very good cards, because one of them will come back. Cultivator is probably the most likely to come back. Maybe Chimney Sweeper, Roof Baluster. I think I just have to take Wood Barter. Wood Barter works with all of them, right? Wood Barter just always works. It works on any number of family members. It works any size, like kind of any size house. It lets you be flexible. If you're not getting a reed, you can live with that. If you're not getting wood, it helps with the wood. If you're want a fence early for some reason, it allows you to do that. I think it's the most flexible card here. I'm not actually sure it's truly the strongest in that it's going to help you win more games than any of the others, although it's definitely arguable that it's also that. But I think it's the safest pick in terms of like it'll work with anything. I am a pretty big Storehouse Keeper fan, but Storehouse Keeper is a little nuts in the first seat. I really just want to open this game with RSF, I think. Uh, it still might be take Storehouse Keeper, although Sivir is a good player. So, like, the problem here is actually Sivir is good, so I'm not going to get much grain out of Storehouse Keeper. So this might just be Conservator. Conservator's totally fine. I actually like Animal Dealer a decent bit too, right? But probably take Conservator. Um, helps if I do a big house. It helps if I somehow get some Stonehouse cards. You know, there's a Groom that might wheel, and if I get any other Stonehouse card, maybe I switch to a fast Stonehouse strat. Uh, if you build a big house, just saving a bunch of clay and a reed is totally fine. Yeah, I'd probably take Conservator. Okay, so there is a Master Builder. There's a Groom. There's a Storehouse Keeper, a Small Scale, and an Animal Dealer. I don't really care about the other cards. Okay. Okay. Good to remember. Good to remember that. My opening pack had Woodland Hut Extender, Roof Baluster, Chimney Sweep, Cultivator. Okay. Wow, there's a Bonehead. Bonehead's a good card too. There is a Manservant, so there's slight Stonehouse stuff. I like Domestician quite a lot, but does it make any sense here compared to Bonehead? Probably not. My only mild concern about Bonehead is that it could be too much wood. Actually, like oddly enough, it could be wood overkill if I get the cultivator back. If I get cultivator back and I'm playing Bonehead, Woodbarter, or Cultivator, is that too much wood? If I take Bonehead here, I'm going to get back Domestician or Seed Seller or Hide Farmer. I mean, somebody's going to probably go for Bricklayer. I mean, Bricklayer in Draft 10 is funky because you're really just kind of hoping to hit clay supports. I don't really think I can take Bricklayer here. It makes the Conservator worse. I'll just take the Bonehead. It's the best card, but it's a little awkward. I really don't want Cultivator back now is kind of where we're at. I don't want Cultivator. I actually don't really want to see Cultivator back. This is probably Winter Caretaker. Winter Caretaker is great. Porter is okay. I don't dislike Porter, but I could use some more Ox that are worth playing kind of in the mid to late game. I don't necessarily have a lot of those. I need crop help, and remembering the draft, I don't have any crop help coming, right? I don't have any crop help conceivably coming. I don't really think I need more resources, particularly. The little bit of food is fine. This is a little crop help too. I'm definitely not doing this. Kills the conservator. So Winter Caretaker is great. Winter Caretaker is a great source of crops. Great source. So I mean, this is looking pretty solid. This is definitely solid thus far. Nothing great. What do we want back the most? I'm a huge fan of Roof Baluster, actually, if I just build a big house here. Or Chimney Sweep. I really don't want the Cultivator, because it's too much wood. And then the Wooden Hut Extender is also totally welcome. I just think it's really unlikely the Wooden Hut Extender comes back. Wow. Both the Wooden Hut Extender and the Roof Baluster came back. I would like to remember. I wish I could remember what the other card was. Wow. I think I'm taking Roof Baluster here. Roof Baluster works really well in a big house. It's also nice to have a card to play in the late game. The Wooden Hut Extender is good. It's definitely good. Well, and it discourages others from building a big house. Or, well, like, because if I pass it, somebody else is going to go big house. But the Roof Baluster is very good for me, too. The slight problem with Wooden Hut Extender is that I kind of want to play Wooden Hut Extender and Wood Barter and Bonehead early. And I also really kind of want to just take RSF in the first seat. I could just Ock first, though it is draft 10. I could first Ock Bonehead and try to play a bunch of occupations early instead. What else was in this pack that somebody took? So hard to know. I mean, it makes me dubious of the drafting skills of these players. Like, I assume Sevier took at least the Cultivator or the Chimney Sweep. I'll take the Roof Baluster. I want the late game Ock. I'm a little concerned about passing Wooden Hut Extender because somebody else goes Big House along with me, and that's... Eh. I don't even have to go that big a house though. Wood Barter doesn't say I have to go huge house. I can wood barter a 4-room house and that's fine. I could go 5 rooms if it comes. Like, the Storehouse Keeper came back. I probably don't play Storehouse Keeper, but I don't see myself playing any of the other cards. I guess Transactor with guilds is occasionally playable. Reed Roof Renovator is almost never playable. The Groom is not for me. The Pastor could be okay if I get in a really ugly spot, but I don't want to get in that spot. I'm going to take the Storehouse Keeper. There's still chances that I get a bookcase or bookshelf in the draft, and that I just really want to make, like, there's chances I get, like, kind of an Ox spam hand, and just really want to make sure I have playable Ox. Okay. I think this is Hide Farmer. I don't have Plow Help, and I might get Plow Help in the minors. But if I don't get Plow Help in the minors, Hide Farmer is very handy in allowing you to plow relatively little or none. I think it's pretty useful. It allows me to fence tight too. Not that I necessarily have wood problems, but... Alright, miner. Wow. Okay, so, team. Remember that bricklayer? Do you remember that bricklayer? Do you remember that priest? Do you remember that bricklayer and that priest? Because I do. I remember those cards. I think this is Take Potter Ceramics. I think it's just Take Potter Ceramics. I get to open RSF anyhow, so I already get the stone for the oven. I do like Milk Jug a lot, but Potter Ceramics can be crazy good. Now, obviously, I don't have a baker or an oven firing boy, but I could get a bread paddle, I could get a flail, I could get a threshing board, and then Potter Ceramics becomes great. The clay that I'm eating is a little awkward, but bricklayer means there's more clay in the game. This clay embankment could mean there's more clay in the game. The conservator means that I don't care about clay as much. Rammed clay, though. Interesting. Also Trident, although Potter Ceramics means I don't need Trident as bad. This probably has to be take rammed clay. Although, how much do I need rammed clay? I have Wood Barter or Bonehead. I'm a big supporter of Lumbermill in general, but the problem with Lumbermill here is that in draft 10, you do kind of want to play Ox a little more. And I need a stone for Potter Ceramics. So the Lumbermill is maybe wrong. Although, how many of these Ox am I playing early? It's not clear I'm playing that many Ox early. Oh, God, it's just rammed clay, though. Rammed clay is just a free clay at worst. And at best, it helps you fence easier and still justify a big house. Also, other people are going to start player on me if I don't. I'll take it. Not ignoring the points on cars is a little sad here. I will say these miners as a whole are a little bad on the bottom. Like, my wheel is going to be pretty bleh. Like, Lumbermill and Trident get taken, and then I'm looking at Handplow is fine. Stone Tongs is okay. Sculpture's not. Sculpture with Hide Farmer's a non-bow. Team, we're this is not good. None of these say bake. None of these say bake still. None of these cards say bake still, which means that we still have some food problems. So we could Foreign Aid. Foreign Aid is a little easier here because the reno pressure isn't as high, the fence pressure is easier to get around, and the plow pressure doesn't matter as much. But I don't love committing to Foreign Aid. I'm a pretty big feed pellets fan. Just getting a free sheep is useful, and the veg to animal conversions are occasionally worthwhile. These miners are pretty good, by the way. This pack of miners is actually quite nice. I'm going to get something pretty useful on the wheel, like a wood field, a supply boat, a granary, like the hutch for an aid. Like there's a lot of like B and C tier cards. Totally playable, useful stuff. Not hugely game changing, but I'll take the feed pellets. I also do like hutch a decent bit if I have food troubles. I can generate a little extra reed with wood barter, but I need a lot of reed if I'm gonna go big house. Yeah, let's claim the hutch is a little expensive for me. Oh, Steam Machine is another baked bread enabler. I did not list Steam Machine earlier, but this is an obvious slam Steam Machine. Steam Machine is actually one of the best baked bread enablers for Potter Ceramics. Because any accumulation space works. Now, it's still awkward because taking your last action on accumulation space is not always actually that easy, but there's no question here. Also, there's no question here because these cards all kind of suck, but Steam Machine with Potter Ceramics is absolutely how we're feeding. We're fed. We're fed, everybody. Congratulations, we did it. We fed ourselves. It was that easy. Who knew? Who knew? I mean, we kind of did. We kind of knew, but we had to get a baked bread enabler. Straw Thatched Roof would be kind of fun, but I don't have the grain to actually make it work. So this might just be Thick Forest. Oh, or it could be Manger. I could fence big. And well, that makes the Hide Farmer worse, though. I don't actively want no fields. The only reason I don't want fields is because I can Hide Farmer in those spaces. So yeah, Major's bad. Brook is bad. Market Stall's bad. Straw Thatched is bad. So it's a Clay Embankment. Wait a sec. Is Clay Embankment the pick actually instead of Thick Forest? Clay Embankment says just get a bunch of extra clay and then keep eating it with rammed clay Potter Ceramics. Rammed clay also makes this Clay Embankment actually. I forgot. Like I can just build a big clay stack, get even more clay, and make use of it all. Yeah. Yep. Wow, lumber mill came back. People sleeping on the lumber mill. I also like hand plow a little bit here, but I'm a huge lumber mill fan. Also, other people not wanting lumber mill mildly suggest that they don't want to spam RSF, and I'll spam RSF. I mean, I'll always spam RSF if you let me, but okay. Woodfield is fine here. Granary also might be okay. I only have one grain for sure off Winter Caretaker. I'm not sure I want to play Storehouse Keeper, even though I just said I want to spam RSF. Woodfield is just a food to a point, which is great. The Granary is more expensive. And it's not sure it gets played on time, really. Although it can be played pretty late for me. Even a second grain might be pretty useful this game. You know what? I have a ton of very playable cards. So I don't think I'm going to need the option for a food for a point particularly much, but I might want the option for a bunch of grain. Also, scullery was actually very possible there. I just realized I could do the annoying thing of taking an action, start player, rammed clay, play some cards like bonehead, start player scullery. I definitely could have set up an early scullery, which actually also is well. I have Potter Ceramics though. I don't need the trickles of food. I am taking RSF because guaranteeing the stone is too good here. Guaranteeing the stone's too important. This is a hand where re-upping start player is viable. It's annoying, and I feel bad for doing it, but I might do it. I might just take 2 wood, though, and then start player in round 2 instead. First pick Furnisher. It's a very good card. With that said, they first picked a Furnisher. What did they second pick? How did Wooden Hut... To be fair, they wheeled Wooden Hut Extender, so good for them. But with Furnisher, how do you not draft Wooden Hut Extender? Also, they might have bricks. They might have clay supports bricklayer. They might have clay supports bricklayer. Oh, there's a water worker in the game. That makes getting on RSF easier. Sivir is less likely to take Reedstone. Sivir is also less likely to start player early game because day labor and a reed is totally fine. Is this is probably clay supports bricklayer? Is this lantern house? 3 wood into lantern house is a pretty classic thing to do. Foreign aid. Okay. Well, I love when other people play foreign aid. Love other people play foreign aid. Let's make it easier for me to get Plauso and run offense. Like, yeah, let me do the premier actions. The game's gonna be very food rich. The game's gonna be very food rich, especially if Sivir goes like day labor here. My Potter Ceramics is gonna make it food rich. The foreign aid is food rich. It doesn't have to stay food rich, I guess. We haven't seen early sheep or anything, so maybe it's not that food rich for everybody. But I take RSF here. I take Bonehead here. Either are very good for me. RSF or Bonehead I like. Sivir is not gonna... Oh, he does take RSF even with Water Worker. Interesting. Okay, well, free Bonehead then. Free Bonehead. Absolutely. Get that guy going. Get that guy going. This is possibly start player into RSF as my next action. Start player Potter Ceramics into Reedstone is pretty good. Start player into Fort Clay is actually not awful either. This is looking like Childless. This red player looks like Childless to me. Small Scale Farmer from purple is very interesting. Small Scale Farmer is very provocative. Why would you Small Scale Farmer in round 2 instead of round 1? Why is this not in round 1? I don't know. I don't know. All right. Do we reveal Potter Ceramics? I think we just play Potter Ceramics. Potter Ceramics plus a wood. The only problem is I kind of need to take 4 clay, but I also need RSF. Who else is building an oven on me? Nobody's fighting the clay oven yet, right? I can just take my reed stone and get my reed. And then I either wheel 4 clay or Ock Wood Barterer. Well, this is going to be Ock Childless, right? This is going to be Ock Childless. So is somebody going to take my 4 clay? They might. If I take 4 clay, do they respond with Fireplace, and do I wheel RSF? I might wheel RSF. Wait a sec. Maybe I do take the 4 clay just because it's that important. Oh, except they're going to Fireplace now. No, that makes tons of sense. They should get the Fireplace action out of the way. Okay, they're too much of a threat to take RSF. Although, do I really need RSF at the moment if I'm just going to... I really need the 4 clay, right? I need the 4 clay and build the damn clay oven. I need that more than anything else. I wheel RSF for Ock most of the time. Or then I just build the clay oven. Let's just lock this in. It delays our rooms a little bit, but this gives us a great option for how we feed. We need the clay oven eventually. Reedstone does get taken, okay. This is free Ock Childless. And then I would happily Ock Wood Barter if I can. If I can't, I probably do just clay oven, to be honest. It is Childless, yep, okay. Slightly risky to go 4-8 and assume 2 reed stays, but okay, we do get Ock back though. I'll play the Wood Barter then. We want to get the Wood Barter down, so this is a good time to do it. Good time to get this guy in. Good time to get that guy in. Red obviously builds a room. Purple probably takes 3 wood. No, they're going to start. Little sad. I don't like going last. But I don't super need Reedstone compared to 2 reed. I should get a reed action. Purple's going to play an awful canoe. There's already a water worker in this game. Like, there's not reed troubles. I guess there's not really wood troubles either. Whatever, I just hate canoe. I just hate canoe. I think start player and into fishing is extremely weak, but I think that's basically what they have to do. I think Sivir could just fish here, actually. Wait a sec. He has a water worker. I mean, Sivir probably has better things to do than fish plus a reed, but why would you ever risk that? I think that's crazy, but it is late sheep. So late sheep is actually kind of good for me because there's more food pressure in the game, and more food pressure in the game is good for my setup because I have so much food. Although I do need food myself, I have to be careful here. I do kind of really need to build clay oven this next round. The only way I can really feed is to build clay oven. So yeah, it's a little awkward because there's gonna be 4 wood actions. There's gonna be a 4 clay action. Like the board's very rich next round. The board's very rich next round. Uh, Although Sivir could take one of the 4 woods away, which would also be very justifiable here. But there's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 good actions plus ox. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7. Actually, wait a sec. Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, there's 7. There, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 pretty good actions plus ox. So I guess going fourth next round actually doesn't matter that much because a good action for me is also to just get the dang clay oven. So there's a lot of good actions on the board, and there's a lot of worthwhile cards to be playing at the moment. So Sivir is really thinking hard here about what he wants to do, which is fair. I don't really know what the game plan is here, unless this is Carpenter's Parlor. They might be thinking about Major Minor Carpenter's Parlor. That might be why you want to work. Oh, and they are going to take the fishing. Lovely. This is why you don't play Canoe. That's why you don't play Canoe in that situation. Canoe is crazy. Crazy. Can't be doing that. Can't be canoeing. All right. What does Red take? Takes a veg. It's a little scary. We might be in another childless carrot museum game. They open RSF. So there goes my dream of Reedstone this round. But to be honest, I don't need Reedstone this round. It's fine. I probably don't even take 2 Reed, to be honest. Puppeteer is fine, but I'm not even taking it. I don't, there's enough food. I don't need that. I'm just going to take a 4 wood action. 4 wood is a good action. 4 wood is a good action, and I should get clay oven back. But 4 wood's always a good action. And worst case scenario, I can wood barter a wood into a reed. More likely, I just get reed back next round. It looks like I'm going to be the last to build. Sivir is going to build here. So I might be the last to build, which is like a little sad, but who has the wooden hut extender, by the way? Where did this wooden hut extender wind up, and where is the clay supports? I mean, to be fair, like building a regular room before clay supports room's totally fine. It does look like I'm going to stay last here, which is a little bit of a bummer. The 2 reed going is also not part of the game plan. It makes it harder for me to get reed. I didn't expect as much reed pressure for some reason. Also, we're leaving 6 wood. That sucks. I don't like leaving 6 wood here either, but I don't have a choice. Clay oven. I could travel, but why travel? Why travel? Just get some good stuff going. We got lots of good stuff going. We got most of our key cards played in stage 1, and we can build a room. But we also can feed. I actually think growth flipping is still ultimately good for me long term. But especially with the childless here, like having the childless not get away with stuff would be good. But nope, we get that, which is fine. I will start build if I'm allowed to, although I'm never allowed. Sorry, I can't start build. Purple. If Sivir are start players, I will build here, turning a wood into a reed. I also would love just taking 5 clay. I mean, just taking 5 clay here is great for me. Do I take 5 clay here or do I build? Well, I don't get 5 clay. I might just build then. All the clay goes. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, I definitely just build then, I guess. I mean, I could RSF into build, but I think I can generate enough wood this game. I think building here is important. I don't think Red's going to start players, so I think Sivir probably starts. And if Sivir doesn't start, I'll start. Gosh, it sucks to use wood barter this way, though. Maybe this is just suck it up. Nah, sucking it up is a bad life. This is just earlier. This just lets me grow earlier. Growing earlier is better. Growing earlier is better. Growing earlier is better. I will take RSF on the wheel. I also will consider just playing Storehouse Keeper on the wheel. I'll consider Storehouse Keeper on the wheel. Storehouse Keeper with Steam Machine is still actually decent. Like, yeah, Potter Ceramics means I can just eat a clay, but I can also just eat grain if I'm generating grain. I mean, I'm also, to be clear, I'm start playing. I'm 100% starting if I'm allowed to. I have rammed clay, I have feed pellets, I have Steam Machine, I will start player spam. I will start player spam all day, and I will not apologize for it. We do have a bricklayer that came down off the puppeteer, and then they run a hearth. That's very cool timing. Milk jug, cool. I probably just take Reedstone then. Probably just Reedstone without Storehouse Keeper. I don't really need Storehouse Keeper down. This gets me close-ish to another room, uh, which is good. Growth flips. We like to see that. I'm very happy with growth flipping. I want to grow. Want to grow. I don't want late growth game. I will SP Steam Machine, I think. I'm always playing Steam Machine, and I don't really want people to know just how much clay pressure there could be. And Steam Machine is also part of our infinite food combo. Oh, except I could try to get Lumber Mill down before Steam Machine, but nah, that's overkill. We still have 2 wood off the Bonehead eventually, so that's good. Purple has to take sheep. Purple has a lot of food. There is still a lot of food in this game ultimately. Oh, and a lasso got played. Wild. That's interesting. Purple builds. Red might take sheep. Who cares? What am I getting back on the wheel? 4 wood? 3 wood? What do I even want the most? I kind of need clay. I do have feeding. Well, RSF feeds me. RSF does feed me. It gives me the 1 food I need to get through this harvest still. The 4 clay next round is pretty useful for me if I can get it. If purple gets the sheep back, these stables are very good. If purple gets the sheep back, the stables are very good. This writing desk is also good. Red takes the 5 wood. That's very justifiable. 3 wood goes. Well, I'm glad to have some wood shenanigans here because my opponents correctly value wood. And being able to cheat the wood economy is excellent. I will take another RSF. Yeah, this feeds me. It allows me to just play Lumber Mill. Um, do I even want to play Lumber Mill? Lumber Mill's 2 points, which is good. And I do have stone generation. It's late stone, though. I could try to save for the well, although the well's an action. And it's not guaranteed I get it. I'll just play the Lumber Mill on growth. Yeah, I will. I will just Lumber Mill. Red takes another 2 read action. It does have Bricklayer. They almost have to have clay supports. This is almost certainly where the clay supports actually went. It did get to a Bricklayer clay supports player. That's why they played 4 and 8. They're going to build a big house also. But they're growing last, which is great for me because I don't care if they have a big house. I will build another room and grow in front of them. But this might be only 4 rooms for me. It might be a game that I just go for 4 rooms. And that's fine. It's fine to just have 4 rooms here. The 4th room I'll probably get to grow into in like round 10 or 11. I guess round 11, unless Sivir jumps back in. Because I grow in 7, grow in 8, grow in 9. Oh, I could be growing in 10 into my. If Sivir jumps in, then I'm growing in 11. But I absolutely can, yeah, pop in. So there is clay supports as expected. So that's actually slightly awkward. That's slightly awkward because now that I think about it, Red can build. Red can just build rooms at the start of next round. Red can just build rooms at the start of next round, meaning that they don't have to start player for growth. They can just room block. And then that does make the growth queue a lot more trouble to pop in front of them. Does make it harder. I think I need to take 4 clay here. 3 wood lets me get into the room queue, but I don't know if I actually get into the room queue particularly easily, and this is a ton of food. And while I have my effectively infinite food combo, I need clay to actually fuel it. Oh, and I can bake bread right away? Oh, that's a hilariously good action then. I forgot, of course, Steam Machine is after you take the action. Oh, okay. Well, 4 clay's a 4 clay's a no-brainer then. 4 clay's a no-brainer action then. Oh, I don't know if I've actually played Steam Machine Potter Ceramics. Oh my god, yeah. Okay, that's a great combo. That's a great combo. Oh, last action, I could just take the clay pile and instantly bake a bunch. It's good. It's good. It's good. Next round, I would like a 4 wood action. I don't know if I get it. Sivier's, yeah. See, Sivier's going to take the 4 wood action. The wood is tight this game. People are taking it. I am very glad. Very glad to have ways to cheat the wood. Wood barter is great. Wood barter is great. Wow, Sivier is going to get into the room queue. So now, well, red can still just open build, though. Red can still just open triple build. Red can absolutely just triple build here. Because purple grows, and then red triple builds. So that's pretty good for red, actually. That's annoyingly good for red, unfortunately. It does mean that it's much harder for me to pop back into the growth queue. But do I have to get back into the growth queue is a fun argument, right? Like, the growth queue is eventually something I want in on, but I can just take wood and plow and just try to do some farming things at the moment. Like, there's no rush. There's no rush to grow again for me. I mean, again, my game would be great if I could grow rapidly. If I could grow super aggressively, it'd be wonderful. I have food, I could do it, but red does correctly build here, so they lock in their growth. The only way then for teal or I to jump red is we have to start player into build. And like, we have to start player into build into start player into grow. And, you know, I technically can do that looking at my hand, but gosh, that's an ugly sequence. Wow, but it is what Sivir is going to do. I mean, I'm okay with that. I'm very okay if Sivir wants to aggressively push that growth. I don't know if that's worth it, to be honest, but it doesn't matter if I think it's worth it. He does, so. I will just go do some farming things. I will just start plowing. I will start fencing. I will be the guy that just says, hey, I can do farm stuff. I can do other things. You can all fight for growth, and I will just see what happens later. I have easy feeding. I have a little bit of point ceiling already locked in. You know, I got 5 points of cards. I can definitely reno eventually. I could even debate playing Winter Caretaker this round, right? Like, these next two, I could get Winter Caretaker going and get some veggies coming in. I could probably get animals breeding pretty soon. Wow, I don't get plowback. Okay, people are playing pretty well. This is an Agricola game I'm mostly happy with. Like, people are actually like contesting all the right stuff. We're making it hard to get wood. We're making it hard to get plow. People are feeding themselves well though still. We're all fighting for growth. Like, everybody's actually playing the game. The only person that's not totally playing the game is this guy. Like, what are we mostly the canoe. Mostly the canoe is bad, I guess. The rest of it's pretty reasonable. 3 clay gets taken, so there's some lovely clay pressure. Sivir's food is awful. Food is awful, actually. That's good news for me. I think I'm going to fence here, right? Fence and then be able to take the sheep and pigs. Like, I can't threaten room then, though. Wait a sec. Is not being able to threaten room too much of a problem? Is Sivir actually open? If Sivir doesn't open build room, I want to be able to build a room. Because I can build room into start player into grow in round 10, and that is a worthwhile sequence. So I need 3 wood. So I can only fence 4 here. But fence 4 might be good enough. Like, it still allows me to threaten taking animals. It's essentially a 2 wood action. This board is already remarkably dead, right? Like, what else am I doing here? I mean, play an Ock, but I guess this is good enough. Like, the board is super dead, and getting a 2 wood in a fence action, and I can just fence 4, and then I can still build a room. Even though it doesn't, like, even though I'm 1 wood short, I can build the room because wood barter is amazing. And then I could take sheep and bake bread. Like, it's... Sivir is building a hearth. Okay, so Sivir has to open the pigs, right? He can't open build. I don't think Sivir is opening... I don't think Sivir is going to open build room. I mean, maybe he is. Especially if I take the sheep here, then who is taking the pigs first action? If it's not me. But I really kind of need to take an action that lets me bake bread here, I think. I think I really need to kind of just bake bread. So, like, just breeding sheep here is fine. I mean, it's underwhelming, but sheep plus bake bread is fine. And then either I get to open build room, and if I don't get to open build room, I get 3 stone, actually. 3 stone is acceptable here to me, too. 3 stone, 4 clay. Like, the board is pretty rich. If I can't build, so be it. But if I can build it to start, I'm also very happy to do that. I can still just play cards. Although feed pellets is a bit worse now that I took those sheep. I forgot about that. I actually don't want to play feed pellets here. Oh, but perfect. All right. Deal. Deal. Thank you, Sivir. Thanks for starting last round. Oh, no, Lasso. Oh, I forgot Lasso. I forgot Lasso. Oh, my God, Tim. We got Lasso juked. We got Lasso juked. I forgot. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, that's a good move. That's a good move. I forgot that he already played Lasso. He could take the pigs and build. He's going to have to start player again, though, so, like, that's fine. I will just scoop all the good actions that are being left in the wake of this fight, then. Like, these players are first action in building and growing, and so try to find the value that they're leaving behind, right? I mean, that's how you play the game. Yikes, the clay pressure this game, though. Apparently, I should have taken more clay. I am very glad that I have a conservator. Because, yeah, the clay is a bit rough to get. Wow, they have bookshelf clay supports. Red's game is quite good. Red's game's quite good. It's a bit scary. All right, do I take 3 wood here? I think I just plow. I don't think 3 wood's a good enough action for me compared to plowing. I should start getting plows out of the way. I'm going to get like 4 wood at the start of next round if I don't touch the wood stacks. So... Also, how is Sivir ever fencing? Like, this building a room, like, Sivir barely is feeding to get this grow, and barely, like, this is where it's a little frustrating watching other people build and grow in front of you. Like, it still might be worthwhile for Sivir, because I'm not sure what else they can do, but, like, I am the player best in position to build and grow if I was allowed to, because I have the food and I have the ability to, like, accelerate if I'm allowed to grow. Wow, okay, we're adding more clay to the game. I like that. Let's add more clay to the game. I highly approve. Highly approve of that game plan, though. I like more clay here. Okay, I'm getting 4 wood to open. I would like to play Winter Caretaker here, but it does cost me extra food, and my food's not quite as infinite as I've claimed. Although, again, what else am I doing here? Oh, I'm building the well. I'm just building the well. Never mind, Tim. We just build the well. We build the well. That's why we take 3 stone. We get a wood discount. We get future food. We get point ceiling. That's fine. That's fine. We still have roof baluster for our reno. So, like, we open with 4 wood. I'm not trying to jump into the growth queue anymore. I don't care about the growth queue. I'm not even sure I'm ever building another room, to be honest. Not getting Winter Caretaker down's a little sad. It's minor sad, though. Minor sad. We still have time to play that stuff. We didn't want to be running a 3-room game, but like it looks like purple's gonna build a room. To be honest, like Sivir's gonna grow, purple's gonna build a room. Red might start player to grow into like round 11. Like fighting for growth with room in rounds 12, 13, and beyond is just gross. I have no desire. No desire. I'm just gonna take good resources, do farming things. The rest of the people can do the rest of it. I have a bunch of off-board points to make up for it. I might get growth late. We'll survive. Cows flip, so fencing some more this round looks good. Fencing some more this round looks very good. Because there's going to be animal pairs. Although, Sivir's lasso is awkward. Sivir's lasso makes the animal plan a little less good because Sivir can just lasso the freaking things to eat, and he's very hungry because he has no food. Like, Sivir still has a lot of problems with his game, I think, but... Alright, I will take this wood. I might still fence. Might like fence and take a cow. Might play Winter Caretaker. Plow, yeah, sorry, plow is definitely on the list of things to do again. I'll definitely plow again if I'm allowed to. Plowing again is good. Good. Yeah, Sivir has no resources. And, well, he does have this milk jug, actually. Wait a sec. So Sivir is going to take the cow this round. So Sivir does have more food than I'm giving him credit for, because the milk jug is incredible here with the cow flipping. So Sivir's at least fed, but... Well, he has fields coming in the future. Sivir's game's still pretty good. The lack of resources is a slight problem. He's going to need to take a lot of resources coming up. And the late fencing is going to be sad. But everything else is okay. We get double ox from purple. Is this the wooden hut extender finally? Is this the wooden hut extender finally, team? Is this cultivator wooden hut extender? It is the wooden hut extender. Oh, he's gonna double build. Okay, so yeah, he's gonna double build. So like, I just don't wanna. I don't wanna fight this. This is insanity. This is insanity to get grow. Like, you gotta be kidding me. Growing is impossible. The only really sad thing is that Sivir is in the easy seat for family growth without, and I'm not. And I'm the one that also could really use family growth without, but I'm plowing here. Definitely I'm just plowing here. I don't need 3 wood that much when I can take 2 wood and fences, but I will happily plow. Not using rammed clay this game is pretty sad, but I said there was a chance I didn't need it, and like people are building too many rooms. Too many rooms. It's sad for my roof baluster, like, big house plan, but what can you do? What can you do? You can't do anything is the answer. The joinery gets built. That's bold. The milk jug does get triggered. That was pretty expected. Pretty expected. I think I'm just taking... Well, wait. Why am I taking 3 wood? There are 2 pigs. Sivir might just eat them first action, but he might not. He might not. I could fence. I mean, part of the reason I take 3 wood here is 3 wood allows for... 3 wood allows for the bake bread action. Off of Steam Machine. Again, Steam Machine is awkward for this game plan because the timing on it's tough. Also, taking 3 wood means that my opponents have no wood for fences. My opponents are being incredibly negligent about wood. So this might be my last wood action of the game, but this allows me to consider like playing a granary, which isn't actually terrible here. It also lets me still build a room, and given my resource count, building a room is pretty justifiable, actually. Also, building stables while building a room and fencing tight. I forgot, I can fence tight this game because of Hide Farmer. And then that leaves me the ability to build stables. And building a room because of my resource count, even if it's just because it's points for roof baluster, building a room while building stables. Okay, I'm convinced on all of this means that this wood is good. It's so hard for other people here to gather wood and fence now. It's so hard for everybody else to do that stuff. Taking fishing here is just like such a sad action, but it's fine. Okay, I do have a lot to still do, including playing a lot of occupations. Well, not that many well, a lot of occupations, right? I do have a lot of ox to play. I want to play caretaker, conservator, roof baluster, and hide farmer. That's a lot of actions, given I only have 12 actions left guaranteed. I am planning perhaps too big of a game after what I just said. I might be planning too big of a game. Maybe this wood was bad because I don't have the action count for it. I also don't need to plow that much more if I'm planning hide farmer. I really don't need more plows if I'm planning hide farmer. I should eventually sow bake a couple crops, but I maybe should start player this round, huh? If I don't start player this round, purple's probably starting. Although I don't want to first action start. This is the tough part. The two people after, like these two players are the big house fools, and this guy might be start playering for family growth in round 12, and Sivir is just gonna like, yeah, that's unfortunate. Like Sivir is not gonna start player here late. He doesn't need to. I am in the wrong seat order for another game, but you know, I can still win this, but it's definitely a little unfortunate. But that happens. That happens. All right, what am I doing here? Am I building rooms and stables? Ooh, a milking stool. That's a good card. Sivir is probably taking animals. I don't even know. He's ocking. Wow, the ock pressure is high too. This is a little unfortunate. He has an animal dealer. Oh, that's gross. Sivir has infinite food now too. Sivir also has infinite food. So much food. So much food. He doesn't take the pigs, though. I don't know if Sivir wants the pigs. I could fence and take the pigs conceivably this round. Which is like, God, there's so many good things for me to do. So many good things for me to do. This Winter Caretaker really is supposed to get played this round. Really, it's supposed to get played this round. There's really nobody fighting fencing. Do I just ock because I really need to get it down? I guess the answer is yes. I really do need to get it down. Also, my food's not going to actually last forever. Because this steam machine is awkward to keep using on 3 family members. Like this game really, I really didn't want to be stuck on 3 family members this game, but apparently nobody else wanted to play a 3-room game, which is unfortunate for me. But it happens. A lot of times people want to grow in this format, and you know, I'm still doing pretty well on the 3-room game over here. Everybody else has bigger issues. Wow, red is going to start player to grow again, I think. People, stop starting to grow. It's just not that good. It's just not that good. You don't want to be starting to grow this late. It's just bad, but whatever. I will happily fence and take these pigs last action. That's the dream. Whether or not that's actually the dream we're going to get, I don't know. But I think I am still planning to build stables, right? Still plan to build a room in stables. Gosh, I don't even have the wood for stables, really. Oh, except I got a bonehead wood already, so I only build 1 stable when I build my room. That's a little sad, but I guess I could take more wood. I could take more wood to build more stables if I ever get allowed to. Wow, the clay pressure. The clay pressure. Why is there so much clay pressure? I guess renos, and then people just had cookeries. Yeah, the pigs do get taken. Well, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. 3 wood probably gets taken by Sivir here. So then maybe I do just build my room. Oh, no, 3 woods left for me. Well, 3 woods, 2 stables, and a bake. But yeah, the lack of clay is kind of an issue for me because I can't... Wow, he has a wood cart. None of my opponents are fencing still. My opponents are not fencing. They're just eating all my animals because they don't have better things to do. That's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate that, like, the way this game is breaking also. Like, it's not that unfortunate, but again, there's so many ways that this goes so well for me, and it's just a little not. Just a little not. I still have a lot. The reno pressure is quite a bit still, too. I really gotta get working on these ox. I gotta get working on these ox. I guess I don't have a hell of a lot else to do, though, right? What else am I doing here? I'm playing ox. I'm taking animal pairs. Do I get the cows this round, or does Sivir just lasso them? Because why would he let me have them? I guess the answer is he lassos them. Why would he ever let me have them? There's no way Sivir lets me have them. Yeah, that sucks too. Like, it just sucks. This lasso is actually surprisingly good for Sivir, and it's making it really hard for me to win on 3 rooms because I'm getting blocked like every which way on all the stuff you can normally do on 3 rooms. So it might have been a strategic mistake for me to stay on 3 rooms, but also it was really hard for me to fight into the growth queue the way it worked. Like, I couldn't really jump into the queue earlier. Well, okay, no, okay. The biggest mistake might have been... Here's where it might have been. It might have been playing the Steam Machine too early. If I don't play Steam Machine, I could have family growth and then built a room, which forces Red to start player for their first grow, and they can't room block. And then I might have been able to I might have been able to grow into my 4th room pretty quickly if I had done that. That might have been a thing I could have done. Plow so flips, which is okay. It's a little sad. Like, there's so many empty rooms that are going to be living, but Sivir probably gets plow so in the cows. Red's probably just freaking... Well, Sivir might take cows and wood, actually. Sivir needs to take wood pretty badly, so I might get plow so at least. I might get plow so here at least. Sivir is taking the cows, though, as expected, so... Sad days over here, but it is so much food for him. Although, is that even an action he wants? I got a guy lasso he wants to take it this round, I suppose, but... Ugh, sad days, sad days. Also, if I build a room, is purple crazy enough to start player for it for growth in 13? I hope the answer is no. Alright, we do take Plowso here, right? Do I take Plowso here? God, is Plowso not good enough for me? No, that's gotta be crazy talk. It's gotta be crazy talk. Doesn't have to be crazy talk. I have a lot still to do. I need to play Conservator pretty badly. I gotta play Conservator. My food is gonna run out if I don't take a clay action. I gotta, like, take a clay action. Which is really awkward. Yeah, my food running out is actually incredibly awkward, too. I really don't want to... I guess I can last action 4 clay or 2 clay next round, but it's not something I want to do. But I gotta get ready for this Reno queue, too. Like, I could get Reno blocked this game for sure if I'm not careful. I absolutely could get Reno blocked if I'm not careful. So I think this has to be Octi Conservator down. Gotta get the Conservator out of the way. So I still have to play Hard Farmer, and I probably still have to play Roof Baluster this game. God, and I still need food then. I still need food. Alright, another Reno happens, which is good news. Good news that more Renos are happening at least. The pottery is not great news. Again, where does this player think all these resources are hiding, though? Sivir's wood cart is working well for them, at least. Stone gets taken with stone tongs. That makes sense. It's fine. Sivir starts. Alright, good news. So if we build a room, we get guaranteed growth here. We absolutely get grow. We either grow... Ooh, Sivir has field fences. That's sick. All right, Sivier's game's pretty damn good still. We should trust him. Sivier can now lasso animals with Animal Dealer. Still has a Plowman field at the start of next round. He has no crops though, and he doesn't have offboard points. Maybe Sivier's game's not that good. I still have a lot of offboard points, which is a big plus for me. I have some crops. My animals aren't going to be as good as his because he's going to keep taking all the ones I care about, but we'll see. It's interesting. I will build a room in stables at least. I have the resources. This was part of the plan. And then we are playing Hind Farmer, right? I mean, we should play Hind Farmer, so. I do need a clay action next round. Do need a clay action next round still. Purple not starting with Trident was kind of lucky for me. It's fortunate. Also, all this stone getting taken is excellent for me. All the stone getting taken means that there is less reno pressure because the other players can't easily gather the stone for renovate. So my roof baluster is pretty big here still, but the food for roof baluster is awkward. But yeah, yep. Do I grow with rammed clay just because it's one clay? I might be growing rammed clay just because it's a clay. And the clay lets me bake bread for a sec here. I assume Sivier's taking the pigs again. Yeah. Yeah, that lasso's really annoying. Sivier's taken a lot of animal pairs. I mean, nobody's got animal pairs, but my earlier fencing has not been very advantageous because of it. But oh well, I don't super have time to take animals, but that's unfortunate. The lasso really was good. The feed pellets is a sheep, and I don't actually need a sheep, so yeah, I guess it is the world's latest rammed clay. The world's latest rammed clay. Maybe not the world's latest, but it's a pretty dubious rammed clay. I play Roof Baluster with my next action, and then I try to take cow last action and bake bread, or I take clay last action and bake bread. I really kind of need a clay action, unfortunately, to keep feeding. My food is a problem. But I gotta play Roof Baluster. I mean, I gotta play Hind Farmer eventually, too, which is why I need more food. Yeah, lots of toughness here still this game. Lots of toughness. I'm in an okay spot. Red's in an okay spot, but has no fences or animals, but does have crops because of childless. Sivier takes the sheep now. That makes sense. He can't do a lot else besides like take crops and stuff. He ox also. All right. Well, he's out of actions, which is unfortunate because he's not starting. He has a chimney sweep. Does he have an extra stone coming in? Does he have a stone though anywhere? Where is his other stone for this Reno? Where is the stone? The answer is he doesn't have it. Does not have the stone for Reno. So yeah, I mean I gotta not get blocked on Roof Baluster, but my food means that I have to take clay as my last action so I can bake bread, which is sad, but it's actually what has to happen. I can't renovate here, so I'll probably have to reno pretty early next round, but that's okay. I can renovate early next round. Then again, red might just renovate here. Red might just renovate because they only have one spot to reno on. They can't reno fence. Red's 4 and 8 is still really hurting them in many ways. I will take this clay and bake. Is it lame? Yes, but I need food. I need food badly. Oh, except I can take the cow and bake. Wait a sec. I can cow bake. I can cow bake. I can cow bake and then take traveling next round. That's much cleaner actually. Taking the cow and baking and then traveling next round is actually looks a lot better. Will I get traveling next round? I don't know for sure, but I could always like take the clay action, last action, and to bake again. Um, but I have to keep this food going. I need so much food actually. I'm not sure I can feed next round. Not sure I can feed next round. Yeah, I don't know how well I can feed. But we'll see. I do have fences and stables. I have some crops and fields. I have off board. I'm gonna get a reno. I possibly get to grow. I mean, my game's still pretty good. It's just like if I had more actions, my game would obviously be that much better. Like getting to grow would have been great for me. Oh, they're building a million rooms, aren't they? They're just gonna build even more rooms. Oh wow. That looks like a huge error. Oh no, no, because they have hard porcelain. All this clay is stone. They're gonna have a giant stone house. They're gonna reno last action here. They're gonna reno last action and have a mega house and never fence. That is fun. Do they possibly have a half timbered house? It looks like not, so that's good. And they can't have half timbered house. I did not say bookshelf or milking stool, so they definitely don't have half timbered house. So that's good. They definitely need to reno here. If they don't reno, I am 1,000% opening reno next round and blocking them. Also, it looks like Sivir is just staying start, which is pretty dreamy. Pretty dreamy for me to just be second here. Um, I might open the 9 food traveling in that case, to be honest, and then try to play hide farmer, reno, and like grow. That's kind of the awkward part here. Is like I need a food action for sure. I need to renovate. I need to play hide farmer, and that leaves me only one free action, which is like pig is the best. But it's very not clear I get that. Although purple's the only one that really wants the pig. Sivir should be done lassoing stuff. He's fed. And he has milk, like he's very fed. So like taking animals looks kind of crazy for Sivir versus all the plows and stuff. Wow, red takes his own food and allows themselves to get reno blocked. Yeah, I mean, I will reno block red. This is the problem with foreign aid. Like, okay, you could do that, but I will punish you. I will definitely block you from being able to renovate. I mean, is red even actually a competition here? Like, do I need to block red? I don't know. But I don't see a good reason not to block them. Like, oh, except it lets Sivir reno. Wait a sec. Maybe there is a good reason not to. Sivir is one stone away from renovating, and he would be able to reno fence if I block here, Sivir gets reno fence, whereas he's not getting renovate otherwise. He's not getting renovate otherwise. Maybe I let the reno happen. It is a lot of rooms. There's a lot of rooms built this game. A lot of rooms built this game. But Bricklayer Clay Support should build a lot of rooms. It's very good. But if you play foreign aid, you should also make sure you renovate. Like I can block Red's renovate, and I'm super tempted to. But I probably just don't need to, right? Yeah, Sivir is asking me the question here. Sivir is forcing the issue of the renos. Sivir is trying to force the issue on the renos. So I have to renovate first action now for sure, which I didn't necessarily want to do. But like, because the plow sow is very pretty, but I definitely have to renovate. So who am I blocking? Am I blocking Sivir's game? Am I blocking Red's game? This is where live scores help. But for example, Red has very few offboard points, has no fencing, has only 2 fields. Their only upside is they have a giant house. Even if that giant house is stone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 22-point house plus full family is 37. Sivir. Full family is 15. The house, if I allow it to be renoed, is 23. Has some fields, has some stuff. I don't know if it really matters. I don't know who it's better to block. Red can't take plow sow. Is purple going to take plow sow or grow? The answer here might be to let Sivir renovate. It might be let Sivir renovate. And the reason let Sivir renovate is because Well, Sivir doesn't have to first action Reno though. Sivir doesn't have to first action Reno. God, red renovating's so scary though, right? Letting red renovate's crazy. It also makes Sivir's chimney sweep a little worse. Sivir doesn't care as much if he gets Reno, although he pushed hard for the Reno, which is a little interesting. He also can take wood and then fence. God, Sivir's put me in a tough spot. I literally don't know what the right answer is here. I mean, red was supposed to renovate. It's that simple. Red was supposed to renovate, but let red do it. You want to see the 11 room stone house? I'm sorry. I'm a meaty. I blocked it. I blocked it. I'm a bad dude. Remember the food problem I talked about, by the way? Remember that food issue? I still have that food issue. I don't actually have food solved here. I do not have food solved because I can't take a giant food action. I can only bake once. Not having food solved here is a little bit of an issue. Little bit of an issue because I need to feed my family and I need to feed the hind farmer. And I actually can't easily generate all that food because I can't eat my sheep. I kind of need to sow bake and I kind of need to, unfortunately, I think I kind of need to sow bake and last action take clay, which is pretty awkward here. The clay pressure definitely got to me this game. Not being able to get big clay stacks was pretty sad. I also have the option to just grow here, but I don't know if I can afford to. I think I kind of need to sow bake. Sow bake, plan awk, and bake again. Ugh, that's so awkward. I slightly ran out of actions this game. Slightly ran out of actions this game. If I had a lot of clay here too, I could have. If I had a lot of clay here, I could have snagged a fireplace, which would have been really helpful actually. But not getting. Maybe I should have taken the 4 clay last round. Wait a sec. Maybe I was supposed to take the 4 clay instead of the cow. It turns out the 4 clay instead of the cow might have been right. Sivir is going to force me to expensive Ock here. Wow, Sivir has a mason. Oh, that's gross that I let him Reno then. That's so gross that I let him Reno. I can't know that's there though. I can't know that's there. There's no way I'm allowed to know that that's there, but gosh, is Hind Farmer worth it? Wait a sec. Am I supposed to just give up on Hind Farmer? Is giving up on Hind Farmer actually the answer? Let's just take this grow action. If I give up on Hind Farmer, then I can get out of this a lot easier. I can get out of this a lot easier if I give up on Hind Farmer. Well, and now I can't play Hind Farmer, so not getting to play Hind Farmer is bad, certainly. That wasn't the goal. Transactor is worth your time? I guess it is. I guess you've built 2 guilds. Transactor is worth your time. Purple did wind up with 5 fields at least. The fencing this game is horrible from so many people. So big gets taken, that makes sense. I really want a last action in animal. I really want a last action animal. What else do I want to do now? 4 points for 4 food versus 3 points for 1 food. Yeah, I mean, I think the grow is still correct. I think the grow is still correct because my food is so awkward here. Letting Sivir get away with this giant red fence plus mason room is. Sivir probably is gonna beat me now, and I probably should have let red Reno, but also again, to be fair, red should have just renovated. I probably was supposed to just take this pig right now. I probably was supposed to take this pig right now, and then last action I can take any accumulation spot to bake, and that could just be any animal actually still, right? Yeah. I should just take this 2-point pig. Just take the 2-point pig. Purple grows with room. That makes sense. Okay, I might get cow back, I guess. Well, no, red might take cow. No, red doesn't take the cow. Okay, well, taking the cow feeds me. So, stone oven for red. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, red has all this, all the resources in the world. Red definitely isn't beating me with getting Reno blocked, right? So, Sivir, I should have second here. Like, I'm not losing to red, and I'm not losing to purple, so I might be losing to Sivir. I have 3 empty spaces on Sivir, but I have 3 stables, so that's offsetting points. Sivir has an extra stone room. Sivir has no crops. My animal points are similar. My offboard is... This is 1, 2, 3 offboard for Sivir. Oh, maybe I've still won this. Maybe I have still won this. Oh, Sivir is taking my cow. Oh, that's actually fine. The sheep is the same points for me, right? Because I actually get to 8 sheep. So sheep is still a point, plus I bake my grain with steam machine, and then I'm fed. Yeah, actually that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. 11 rooms? Yeah. It's fun times. It was fun. It was a fun game plan from Red. Red's only problem is that they forgot foreign aid. They could have renovated last round, and instead they renovated traveling. You look quite witty, in my opinion. I mean, it's just scary to me. Like, it's always scary to me when I don't finish my game plan, right? My game plan was Hide Farmer. Hide Farmer felt important, but... Oh yeah, I can't potter ceramics, but I don't need to potter ceramics. Steam Machine, to be fair, Steam Machine potter ceramics is dumb. And the only reason this game didn't go better for me is because, yeah, I didn't have the time to I didn't have the time to grow. Like, if I could have grown and had more actions this game, I think I pretty clearly crush it, right? Like, just having the time to get Hide Farmer down is alone really enough where I would have felt great. If I had a little more time, I might have even been able to, like, sow and plow a little more. But ultimately, you're probably correct that I'm winning because Sivir having no crops is a big difference, and his offboard is only 3 points. So my offboard being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 offboard really helps alleviate this extra stone room and extra filled spaces. And then again, my stables are also very offsetting here. Stables are always excellent for point ceiling. I'm maxed. Yeah, okay. I should have this one. Hey Gordon, welcome. When is Gordon the streamer returning, by the way? When's Gordon the streamer coming back? For a little while there, it was glorious. We had Colorful Pocket streaming, we had Econ Sean streaming, we had Gordon streams, we still had the usual Lumen streams. We occasionally got Nerdcube streams, Deranged streams. There's no all the Agricola streamers are gone. Do I want to feed pellets? I guess it doesn't matter, but I can turn a veg into a cow here. But I guess there's no point, really. I should buy it. I should eat a raw grain, though, because eating the raw grain doesn't matter. But the 2 food does let me buy another veg after the harvest from Winter Caretaker, which is also very handy here. Being able to buy the extra veg is great. It's been a busy month. You'd love to get back into it. Lots of travel. Things are coming down. No, that's fair. I mean, look, obviously, all of us have real lives. Sean has moved on to another pastime at the moment. I wasn't streaming Agricola for quite a while. It's been a busy weekend, but busy in terms of I've streamed a lot of Agricola this weekend, but like I was playing other games, and I'll go back to playing other games through WBC. So like it's fine. But yeah, it was fun there for a while. We had a lot of Agricola streams, and it's just been a little calmer since. Yeah. Did I miss Winter Caretaker? Oh, no, there it is. I was like, where's my Winter Caretaker? I want my extra point. I don't know if I need my extra point, but I might. I like having extra points. I do win. I do win. Oh wow, and I'm super far ahead. Wow, Sivir is not even in second. Okay, I won by a mile. Never mind. All right, Zach, you're much better. You were much more accurate on this estimation. Purple is second place here. That's actually really surprising to me. Um, I did not expect that. Yeah. I guess I was correct to block Red's Reno then. Actually, looking at the points, I did block the right person. Blocking Red's Redo was definitely correct then. Play Agricola Soldiers on. Yeah. Oh yeah, William still streams. Sorry, William still streams, but he streams not BGA Agricola. So that's a good call though. You're right. Play Agricola has been William still streams Agricola, fairly often. All right, that's a good win. Wow, Sivir has a threshing board, so he blocked that. You're looking to see more WBC practice streams? Yeah, I mean, look, there still will be some more WBC practice streams, to be honest. But that's what I mean. There's not a lot of Agricola streams happening then. But anyhow, team, we had a game that actually finished. Also, it's kind of a joy to play with a bunch of people that just take their actions fairly quick for the most part. I mean, as always, while streaming took the longest time, but we have just a good clip 80-minute game. Even when Red got Renault blocked, they played the game out. Look at that. Look at that, people. You don't have to rage quit. You can just, you can play the game out. My action count is pretty low. Action count is low compared to some other players. I would have loved to have a couple extra actions, obviously. Really, again, the only thing that I'm really missing is Hide Farmer and one or two action, like another action to take some clay for food. Maybe a sow action to get a little more grain in the ground. And that's an easy couple of points then, right? If I have a couple more actions to fit that in, that's quite a few more points. But then after that, admittedly, I am pretty point capped on this farm. I don't have a lot else to do. I mean, I could have got better animal pairs if Sivir wasn't doing this animal dealer stuff. That would have been a few more points also, but your start nada grow nada was pretty bad when you really wanted the wood cart. Yeah, I was really surprised. I was surprised at that whole sequence, honestly. I didn't foresee you try to push yourself in the growth queue. Food wasn't good enough to get the third octown. Yeah, your early food was awkward. Yeah, I mean, your feeding didn't really fix itself until Milk Jug Animal Dealer, right? You were going for Mason. Oh, duh. That's why you had to push the room. Duh, duh, duh. I should have. Now that you say that, I should have. I should have thought that you had a Mason because that fourth room did seem very unusual, and it seemed like it was leading to a low point game for you. And I didn't understand why you went for it, but thinking about the fact that you might have had a Mason in your hand is something. Also, now that I'm looking at the draft, so you picked Chimney Sweep over Roof Baluster with Mason, which is a bit interesting to me. But I guess it's acceptable. You also passed on Wooden Hut Extender. Yeah, I don't know if I agree with those, but the Chimney Sweep is bad. I mean, hey, we all make mistakes. Also, what the heck is Red doing in the draft, by the way? What is Red doing in this draft, everybody? What did they take out of my super good opening pack? This was a second pick cultivator. I don't remember what they took. I should look at the draft because I wonder what Red third picked. My opening pack was great. Double late stone is a factor for sure, for sure. But yeah, my opening pack was sick, right? My opening pack was the Wood Barterer, Roof Baluster, Cultivator, Chimney Sweep, Wooden hut extender. Red didn't take any of those. I don't know what Red took out of that pack, but it definitely was wrong. Definitely was wrong, I'll tell you that. I also don't agree with second pick Cultivator. I mean, Cultivator's a good card, but I don't agree with second pick. Was it Puppeteer? It could have been. Maybe it was Puppeteer. It could have been Puppeteer or Clay Hut Builder. I mean, let's go look. To be fair, I literally don't know because I saw that pack and I just paid attention to the 5 strong cards. I was like, these are the cards I need to care about and know about. That's what's going to come back. I really don't care what other people play out of this pack. But yeah, I assume I opened the best pack this draft. Like I opened a sick pack. All right, let's look. This is Sivir's opening pack. Oh wow, Wait a sec. You didn't first pick Mason? I thought you had a hidden Mason, but you first pick Water Worker hoping for day labor combos, which I guess is justifiable. But I might first pick Conservator out of this pack just because Conservator combos with enough things in this draft, such as Mason, Eddystone House Ox. But also going for day labor combos is fun, and sometimes you get rewarded. So, but like you see a Groom on the wheel here too. Like if you get a Plow Driver or a Scholar in the draft, this Conservator Groom thing, I'd be tempted by that. I just don't believe in first picking day labor combos, but everybody else believes in first picking day labor combos, and sometimes they wind up with them, and I never do. So you weren't sure about the Conservator combo? Yeah, I mean it's fair. It turns out in hindsight, the Conservator would have been excellent for your game, right? The Conservator would have helped your Mason out a lot. And the Water Worker turned out pretty underwhelming, but meh. How are you supposed to know? But yeah, second picking Mason makes all the sense in the world. Third pick, Plowman. Yeah. I mean, why not? Yeah, seems fine. There's other possibilities here, but meh. And then you almost do take Wooden Hut Extender, but then you talk yourself into Chimney Sweep instead of even Roof Baluster. Yeah, I think I would just take Wooden Hut Extender. I don't think I'd take Chimney Sweep, but I'm pretty low on Chimney Sweep compared to other players. I think Chimney Sweep's fine, but I don't think it's great. This fourth pick is hard. You never go for Day Labor Cob without a first pick Tiller or Cottager. Yeah, that's mostly what I agree with, Zach. I mostly agree with that. I mean, I wound up first picking a Seasonal Worker the other day because the pack was so bad. But I agree. I basically don't get day labor combos ever because other people draft them in my opinion, crazy high. But all right, I just want to go peek at the minors here. Your minor packs were also the things that I obviously knew the least about. So oh, there was an oven fired boy. I forgot. Ugh, my Potter ceramics. I mean, Potter ceramics is good. You think Waterworker's justifiable on its own? It sometimes is fine. I agree. Waterworker's sometimes fine to play on its own, but all right, you pick field fences. That's why I got a red clay. Yeah, that makes sense. Why did I get lumber mill back though? By the way, I'm a big lumber mill fan. You have a wood cart. Okay, that's fun. Yeah, not getting the wood cart online sooner is also unfortunate, but it's a little hard to figure out what 3 ox you want to spam early here in order to pull wood cart shenanigans. You take a threshing board because you have a thresher, but you also have a plowman. But yeah, no, that's fine. I would have liked a thresher, although steam machine's probably better for Potter ceramics anyhow. Fourth pick milk jug. Yep, you need food. Pretty easy. Although straw thatch drift shenanigans with thresher always intrigue me, but I don't think it's actually good. So these games are stupid retight. They definitely can be stupid retight. They're not always stupid retight. It's awkward. Like it's mostly stupid retight, and then sometimes it's not. Sometimes all of a sudden you have people playing Water Worker, and there's a wooden hut extender, and there's a brushwood, and there's a canoe, but straw thatch drift shenanigans with Water Worker? Well, no, you just don't play the Water Worker. You don't play the Water Worker. You do straw thatch drift shenanigans with an early thresher. It requires a lot of food, So it can be hard to pull off early. But you play Thresher, you plow a couple times, you take a big food action, and you sow early. Then you have a bunch of grain, and then you also have all your read solved. You knew the correct picks and you did memes twice. Yeah, I've seen that right now. Like, you knew that you should take the lumber mill because lumber mill is great, and then you take lasso. You took lasso. I mean, the lasso was fun. That was one of the better lassos, to be fair. But yeah, that's all right. Getting the lumber mill back was great. All right. The opening pack for red featured a childless and a mason, so that's why I wound up with the third pick bonehead. That's totally reasonable. Yeah, taking childless and then taking mason and passing the bonehead around is fine. They take clay hut builder second. I mean, that's fine. So they third picked. They do third pick puppeteer. They picked puppeteer instead of this other stuff. I mean, to be fair, at this point in the draft, they don't know that they're going to hit bricklayer clay supports. Wooden hut extender is hard to work with childless, but how you're not taking roof baluster or chimney sweep here is not justifiable to me. Wow, and actually, wait, they take pet love. Wow, never mind. That's a 7th pick. Oh my god, it's a 7th pick puppeteer. They pick pet lover over that stuff. You have a childless. When are you doing pet lover things? Why are you doing pet lover things? Why are you doing pet lover things? You have a childless. You already have grain. You're not. Oh my god, pet lover. Pet lover third pick. Well, that's wrong, everybody. That's very wrong. It's very, very wrong, but whatever. Master Builder is also the wrong pick, I think. If you're picking Pet Lover third, how are you not picking Animal Dealer fourth? If you're gonna do silly Pet Lover things, at least Animal Dealer with Pet Lover. That's like a legit combo. What are you doing with this Master Builder? Also, if you're gonna pick Master Builder, take the dang Roof Baluster if you're gonna be building that many rooms. But you wanted the Master Builder back? For sure you did, yeah. Alright, well, I don't agree with Red's drafting, obviously, but it's fine. Oh, just imagine Roof Baluster with this hand, by the way. Just Roof Baluster with the bricklayer clay supports is always just the nuttiest time. Like, oh, an 11 stone Roof Baluster. That's when it gets exciting. Yeah, good old 7th pick puppeteer that we played. I mean, they did get a bookshelf, so like it makes sense. Yeah, they first picked bookshelf. So puppeteer does help you play more cards, and 7th pick puppeteer is justifiable. That's actually not a problem at all. 7th pick puppeteer is totally fine. It's these minor picks are all correct too, and then getting rewarded with clay supports here is like, I mean, yeah, absolute dream. Absolute dream. I just don't agree with the Ock picks. If this was just a Roof Baluster, like, oh my god, the hand we had. But we didn't take Roof Balusters, so yeah, now we need Stone Tongs for our mega big house, and that's why we don't take Lumber Mill. I guess that is justifiable, but I weep in Roof Baluster. I weep in Roof Baluster about all this. This player first picks Furnisher very correctly. Furnisher is definitely the best card here. What's baffling about this player's drafting to me is you first pick Furnisher, and then you get handed a Wooden Hut Extender, which is like the dream here. Like, you have a Furnisher, you take a Wooden Hut Extender. You don't second pick Cultivator. Now, to be fair, he big brained it and wheeled Wooden Hut Extender anyhow. So, I guess we have to allow it. But also, excuse me. Master Builder Furnisher is a cool combo. What are we doing? What are we doing here? What are we doing with Small Scale Farmer? What's this drafting? What's this? What's this draft? Ugh. Oh, he had a Domestician Expert. He didn't play as Domestician Expert, but he had sheep. That's sad, too. He could have bred it. You should have taken the Wooden Hut Extender. Probably. Probably you should have. But, I mean, I don't know. It is awkward. You already had a water worker, so, like, meh. I get the reasons not to, but it is pretty crazy that we get a 6-pick Wooden Hut Extender this game. But to be fair, again, my opening pack was sick. I had 5 A-tier cards, right? I had a crazy opening pack of occupations, like really strong stuff. So you went too hard on the water worker. Yeah, I mean,
I would have just thrown the water worker away without getting combos, but although you are fourth seat, right? I mean, I kind of get it. Water worker could get a little screwed out of fourth seat. I will admit, I was surprised you went for Reedstone Food. I will say that, right? If you play Water Worker, Reedstone Food is like one of the worst actions on the board, actually, because you're already generating extra Reed. So I guess you're taking the Reedstone Food because you want it for Mason eventually. But in round 2, when you take RSF after playing Water Worker and not, like, yeah, I don't. Take single Reed in round 1. The RSF was me thinking no bake pressure. Oh, I see. You were going for the clay oven. It's because you wanted the stone for clay oven and you had no idea I first picked a pot or ceramics. Okay, okay, no, that makes more sense. That does make more sense, though. Okay. Um, I still don't know if I would go for ovens with your hand. And blocking lumber mill. I mean, you knew I had lumber mill, but um, yeah, it's your hand really wants like a hearth though, right? Like that's what's tough. Like animal dealer lassos. Well, I guess you could try to feed. The problem with Thresher threshing board is that you have to also throw your plowman out, right? You have to throw plowman out if you're gonna feed off Thresher threshing board. Which, like, I guess. I guess you could just throw plowman out. But instead, then you wound up playing plowman because I revealed Potter ceramics and then I got oven tempo on you. Yeah, okay, so I threw your feeding plan into a loop, and it's hard to say what was the right move. Hard to say, though, that RSF in round 2 is wrong. I will just say, taking RSF in round 2 after you play Water Worker, though, is just mildly anti-synergistic, right? It's just a little awkward. But also, in hindsight, if you took one read in round 1, if you took read plus read in round 1, and then you and that would have wound up blocking Red's childless, that would have been fun. Red definitely Red got pretty risky there with starting 4 and 8 in round 1. Like that's pretty ballsy from a childless. When you see a water worker in fourth seat and you know that they can take 2 read as an action, um, definitely ballsy of Red to try that. All right, why does this guy not take clay supports? Why does this guy not take clay supports? Because he has a canoe and a wooden hut extender. I mean, he has a wooden hut extender. Having a wooden hut extender is a decent reason to not take clay supports, but canoe is absolutely insane here. Like, wooden hut extender already means you need less read. Canoe just sucks. Canoe sucks in general. It sucks extra bad if you don't have a combo. Like, we have no reason to take fishing. So we're going to throw away 2 wood on a canoe? Ugh, gross. All right. Well, anyhow, it was an interesting game. Yeah, it was. Yeah, correct. I was interested. Like, I didn't think Red was childless at first because I'm like, wow, that start player is bold instead of taking 1 read. Like, Water Worker definitely can take read plus read as their last action in round 1. And for Red to just, like, hope that that wasn't going to happen is. It's frisky. It's frisky, but. Anyhow, yeah, thanks all for hanging out, chatting. Glad to actually get a full game in. I should move on and do other things. Doing another is a bad life choice. As for streaming this week, I'll probably get some in. I don't know how much Agricola there's going to be, though, because, yeah, I probably am going to go back to some WBC practice, go back to some Puerto Rico, keep playing a little chess here and there. Not that that's for WBC. Maybe try to actually get a Through the Ages to happen. If anybody has any specific things they for sure want to see or hang out, let me know. Otherwise, yeah, it's been a good time. Hope to see some other Agricola streams coming up. From others, from Lumen, obviously, at least. Lumen's reliable for all of us, but the rest of us need our fix. Colorful Pockets, come back. Gordon, stop living life. Become an Agricola streamer. You could make hundreds of dollars per year if you just became a full-time Agricola streamer. I also could make hundreds of dollars a year if I became a full-time Agricola streamer. But yeah, obviously joking. Someday I will be able to make a career out of being an Agricola streamer. No, I won't. But that is one of the few jobs I probably could actually not I don't dread going into work or anything, but yeah. Anyhow, I'm blabbing on about no real point stuff. Anyhow, yeah, people that legitimately have stuff they want to see me stream, reach out. We'll be playing some stuff here and there over the next couple weeks until WBC. Uh, anyhow, yeah, thanks all for hanging out. See y'all later.